Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 147 of Pokerole. Last time, Brooke stuff, and also Deadeye stuff, and Broken Scale stuff, and cool evolving stuff, and other stuff. It was really neat. If you didn't watch the last episode, you should. But if you can't, remember, of course, that we had the week. But before we fully begin, of course, I know that's a very weird beginning, but I'm just trying to do a quick summary before I tell you all that if you liked the video, do think about giving a like. And if you haven't subscribed, think about doing that as well, because it really does help out. And if you want to come over to Twitch, hang out with us, socialize, talk to all the nice people here, hang out with us, think about coming over to Twitch, because that's where we do almost all the content before it goes on YouTube. Also, there is a Discord server you can check out if you'd like, and there's the Pokerole server, Discord server off of that you can access via link there. There is a coffee link if you want to help directly monetize our content. There is a merch store if you want to buy some cool little merchy things. And of course, there is the wiki I just mentioned at pokepioneers.mirrorhughes.org, where you can go check out episode recaps, read about characters, and other stuff. So, go check that out if you're interested. But, with that all being said, hello everybody.
Hey-o.
How are table people? How's everybody's day going or week?
I've been pretty good. Excited for the session. A little nervous.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good. I'm out of this new candy I bought from the Mexico store.
Mexico
It
store?
was, yeah, it sells stuff that's like isn't sold typically.
Oh.
Like candies and I buy candy from there, but it sells a whole bunch of brands I've never heard of before. Like I guess stuff. Yeah. I guess I don't know. It's a store that it sells items from Mexico. Like it sells stuff. It sells brands and ingredients that are popular in Mexico. And I got this. I discovered a candy called Pulparindo.
What's that?
It's like the inside of a Fig Newton bar, kind of like, but pressed flat. And salty hits your tongue first, and then it's sweet as you chew it up and swallow, but it has a spicy aftertaste.
Oh.
It's made with a fruit I never heard of before, now called a tamarind.
Tamarind.
Yeah, it looks like a giant like pea pod, but it's like filled with like nectarine pulp.
Neat. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes. I'm gonna go get some more of them.
I will say, I guess this is a good time for me to give an update too. So it doesn't look like we're moving out at the end of May here, unfortunately. Because places, it's just been really difficult to find housing around Illinois. We're expanding our search radius though, and including a college town in the mix now. So that might actually work out a lot better though, especially with the timing. So hopefully we can move in June. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna unfortunately have to stay here for June. What that does mean, though, and the reason I'm bringing it up is that does mean the Pokerole can technically continue as normally scheduled, at least for, at least the next, at least in 2 weeks from now. I think it could continue the usual way. We're just kind of looking for a place. I'll let you guys know, of course, when there will be an interruption. But for now, yeah, things are just still waiting, which is kind of unfortunate. But
Wish you luck.
thank you. It's a cutthroat market to house this stuff. But, and how are you, Car?
I'm well. I finally got SoundCloud to work.
Yay! Yeah, they changed some stuff. You notice it turned dark all of a sudden. It wasn't used to be that way.
I mean, I don't mind. Dark mode is king.
It does look a lot nicer now. But yeah, I'll let you go ahead with the recap when you want. And I will share a bunch of art.
A wonderful idea, because there is so much art.
There is a lot.
Yes. It looks so good.
That went a little crazy.
I mean, that's not a bad thing, though.
Oh, absolutely. I'll share the major Brooke art after the recap, because I'm going to do one thing with it. But I'll share some art besides that as you do the recap.
Welcome, everybody, to the table. Last time was session 146, Balancing Scales. Brooke opens his eyes and finds himself on what seems to be a deserted island. As he tries to look around for anything interesting, he spots something flailing about in the water surrounding the island, and immediately moves to try and rescue them. When they begin to travel through the water, they hear a deep voice rumbling within the seas, taunting Brooke by asking if he believes he is really ready, and musing over what they would do to overcome this trial. Brooke sees waves behind the flailing creature grow harsher, and he hurries to grab the creature and return to shore. As he takes a hold of the figure, he soon realizes it's Tucker, and the mighty Anna continues to thrash and flail in the waves, only making the task more difficult. Another figure begins to rise from the water, seeming to be a dark-scaled reptilian creature. It taunts Brooke once more, and calls them too weak to save Tucker before its head sinks into the waters. Realizing he won't be able to return Tucker to shore if he keeps struggling, he calms them down and gets them to work with him to move together toward the shore. Pardon me.
No worries.
Sorry, notifications bothering me. Mild ADHD. When the two near the shore, a wave rises up and pushes the two into the sands, and the voice speaks up once more, remarking that Brooke seems to prefer to give orders. Brooke retorts that he would prefer to encourage rather than command, and the skies grow stormy as the voice questions if Brooke would be able to maintain such confidence amidst panic. As the seas grow more violent, Brooke sees three more figures thrash and flail within the water, and, after checking on Tucker's condition, he asks Tucker to help him bring those three back to shore as well. However, the voice speaks up once more and warns him that this is his trial, so this was his responsibility and his alone. Brooke rushes out into the sea again and senses the figure from before moving beneath him. Soon, Brooke approaches one of the flailing figures, this time being Ralph, and he again convinces Ralph to relax and make his way back to shore, using his ice fangs to create a raft for the Snorlax to fit inside. The next is Rhyda, who is able to muster their strength and composure as Brooke arrives to help themselves climb onto the raft. Brooke then sets his sights on the last figure, Riley, and he senses as the figure beneath him seems to be picking up its pace to move toward the Lucario. Figuring he'd be too slow to get there via swimming, Brooke hops onto the raft and uses the force of his water gun and his comrade's psychic powers to push it toward Riley. The storm grows more and more violent, and the voice taunts Brooke's arrogance in aiming to save everyone before sinking below the depths and allowing Brooke to help Riley onto the boat. With everyone on the raft, Brooke turns back toward the island, now a fair distance away. He orders the three to help him to keep the ice stable and move towards the island as he dives into the water to help push it forward. However, as he does, the voice echoes again, and Brooke can sense the creature beneath him rising closer toward the group. Unswayed by the intimidating presence, Brooke gives Rhyda and Ralph the command to lift up the boat so he can free the seawater beneath them to serve as a slope.
Practicing my voice. Looks down here.
You okay?
Oh, who was that?
Hello?
Hello?
I think that was Kyrio practicing.
Oh!
My mic is supposed to be muted.
Your mic also makes you sound a little muffled at the
you
moment.
you sound muffled. I understand practicing. I do that sometimes.
Let's see.
Yeah, your mic went all weird. Sorry to say. I'll let you figure that out, though.
Oh, not free, it's freeze. I see. I'm going to chalk that up to keys on a keyboard not working the way they should. However, as the raft begins to slide amongst the slope, the beast breaches the depths, both shattering the path ahead and creating another fierce wave in the process. Brooke orders everyone to brace for impact, and the wave picks up the raft and brings it falling toward the shore. When the ice crashes onto the island, Brooke is fortunate enough to receive minimal damage, and, while Riley managed to get off the raft before impact, Ralph and Rita were sent flying into the nearby environment. As he composes himself to check that the two psychic types are okay, Brooke hears the voice taunting him from the oceans again. When Brooke reaches Ralph and Rita, he finds that Rita seems to be in critical condition, considering their less sturdy build, and also still bearing the injuries from outside the trial. The voice speaks again, asking if he really has the time to worry over his comrades. Brooke retorts by saying that a leader is of little purpose without his teammates. Then he hears a different, yet familiar, voice that causes him to immediately turn around and acknowledge the presence behind him. He sees a totodile, Scales, looking at him from the ocean, warning Brooke that he isn't ready for what is to come next. Brooke reluctantly agrees, and struggles to meet his companion's gaze as the set of claws emerges from the waters and pulls Brooke far, far within the depths. As Brooke is pulled under the water, he sees bubbles as he passes by, with many Pokemon seeming to linger inside. While he doesn't recognize many of them, he sees the shaman from Sea Spray within one of them and tries to reach for them before he is pulled deeper and deeper into darkness. The first voice speaks again, asking if Brooke is ready to bear the weight of those who have succumbed to the pressure of augmentation. And he sees Scales once again waiting before him. Brooke and Scales share a brief, happy moment of joy at their reunion. Then the moment turns dour as Brooke realizes what must come next. The seas retreat, and a towering arena forms around the two, with what water remaining reflecting images of Brooke's memories of his journey as a human. Scales walks around the arena, uttering a melancholic ballad as he recalls his memories with Brooke, of when they traveled the land with no definitive goal in sight, of joys that they shared, and the sorrows that they bared, of times when Scales would be unsure of Brooke's choices but stick with them and stay by their side despite their better judgment, of how they joined Team Plasma only to run away as they realized the group's intentions weren't as pure as they hoped, of the moment they made their final, foolish choice, only to lose their lives in the end. As he sings, the Totodile changes into an azure-scaled feraligator, and he stares down at Brooke, telling him how, if they cannot prove their strength against him, he will take Brooke's body for himself and regain the life that he'd lost because of Brooke's recklessness. Brooke is saddened at hearing Scales' words, realizing how little attention he paid to him, and how much he pushed Scales for his own sake. He laments how pathetic he was, taking this opportunity at a new life as some excuse to be someone else, not realizing that his one companion paid the price for it. He admits that he thinks he likely doesn't deserve his life. But, with the world at stake, and the people around him that need him, he will not just give it up, and tells Scales that it's also them who needs to prove to him that they would make a better use of it than him. Scales stands upright and declares Brooke that they have yet to know how heavy the weight of sins he's borne for centuries weigh, and utters the name Leviathan as they rip a frozen heart from their chests and shatter it into icy blades. Goodness, this is a very long one. Very worth it. The battle begins between the reptilian warriors. Brooke is impeded by heavy shackles clapped onto him, but still manages to avoid and trade blows with the feraligator. After a few strikes, Scales summons a large shield of ice around himself to deflect his attacks. With enough force, Brooke is able to break through the shield to strike at his opponent. As Brooke taunts his foe, Scales retaliates, showcasing strength far beyond any power he had when the two were traveling together. As the battle rages on, the tension gives way to mid-fight banter between the two of them. Brief glimpses of the fondness they had for each other before refocusing themselves and striking. Eventually, as Scales attempts to swing his blades at Brooke, Brooke dodges the blow and delivers a staggering strike to the feraligator's neck, leading him to drop his weapons and chuckle happily as the newly made wound bleeds out. Brooke, seeing the injury, immediately drops his stance and rushes over to try and tend to it, but Scales encourages Brooke to leave it be. As Brooke tears up, regretting fighting so harshly against his friend, but Scales tells him he isn't to blame, seeing as he'd forced him into the situation. The expressions give way to sorrow, as Scales states plain that, in death, likely due to the clockwork butler, he become bound to the aspect of augmentation. As such, he had witnessed the many Pokemon that bared its power, and had succumbed to their own demise in the process. He had tried to become stronger, and remain sentient as he maintained his newfound role as an aspect, all in the hopes of waiting for the day when Brooke would reawaken in his new form. He confesses that the malicious intentions he proclaimed before were little more than bluster, aiming to encourage Brooke to feel no remorse in fighting him. The two share a somber embrace, with Brooke comforting him and promising that they both will not have to bear their burdens alone anymore. Scales smiles at Brooke and asks one more time for forgiveness as their body starts to fade. However, before he completely vanishes, he teases Brooke to quell his sorrows, telling him to make an honest Pokemon out of Deadeye. After the initial embarrassment, Brooke begins to tease the feraligator back, and the two playfully bash each other until the feraligator's body is no more. Brooke soon awakens outside of the mirror and sees Deadeye resting nearby. As he stands up to approach them, Brooke experiences a familiar vertigo, as when he had evolved once before. When he gets close enough, he tells Deadeye to wake up, and the Heliolisk opens his eye and looks up at the newly evolved feraligator. Deadeye compliments his new look, and asks if he's been able to accomplish all he wanted to. Brooke nods, and thanks Deadeye for staying out here with him this entire time. As Brooke checks if his coat still fits him, he and Deadeye begin to idly banter. Brooke tells Deadeye that, with any hope, when the more important current matters are finished, he might plan on going on a seafaring journey, and asks if Deadeye would want to come along to find a climate more hospitable for him. The Heliolisk tells Brooke that he'd be willing to join them if he wants, seeing as he doesn't have much attachment to the Plains continent in particular. The pair exchange fond glances before returning to the main chamber, where Kamo invites Brooke to eat. Brooke realizes that he's feeling especially hungry, which prompts Kamo to explain that he'd been asleep undertaking his trial for over 5 days. Realizing his teammates are probably worried sick, Brooke sits down to eat and prepare his body for the trek back to Savantown, while Kamo asks Deadeye to hunt some food for them. While Deadeye is away, Kamo casually speaks to him to pass the time, talking about how Deadeye had been helping him while Brooke was undertaking his trial, and how he believed Brooke himself was, in part, responsible for him becoming more willing to help. Brooke says that it's just like how rivals often strive to help and improve each other, but Kamo seems unconvinced that the two of them consider each other mere rivals. Turning away from the topic of the duo's relationship, Kamo gives Brooke some words of encouragement for the tasks ahead of them, telling him that he will be able to handle any burden, as long as he battles alongside his comrades. Meanwhile, as Brooke's trial was underway and the others had continued their respective activities, they saw a storm had begun to brew from the wild prairie. As the days passed, the storm had reached Savantown and eventually passed over, granting the town a supply of much-needed water. Oh boy, Ennio. Oh, holy goodness, that was a long one, and I appreciate it. You did an excellent job.
He said in the chat, this session deserves super flowery writing, otherwise it'd be shockingly short.
Well, yeah, because combat. Oh. Also, there really is no need to apologize, Kyrio. I understand.
Well, speaking of Kyrio, this guy's been Brooke obsessed for the last 2 weeks. So 2 major glimpses, I think, which were also partially RPs with Car to do the Deadeye scene at least. That you can go read on the Pokerole server. And then all the artwork, Kyrio just drew and drew and drew. I showed a couple of things up here. And these were drawn the last 2 weeks. But also, well, the artwork that was on the table last session was drawn before it. And there's also some new art here. And I didn't want to bring this up during the recap because I wanted Brooke to go ahead or Kyrio to go ahead and explain the design stuff. Now, if these panels are flipped, by the way, the others that has the alternative art. So, yeah.
I see.
But I figured I'd let you explain what you're going for design-wise.
I just wanted to mix in a bit more ghostiness with the Feraligator, so I gave him a little bit of a lighter head to highlight kind of his skull a little bit. And then I kind of continued that here with a little bone patterning that probably, I think, will glow in the dark.
I think that's neat.
Probably whenever he wanted to.
Yeah, probably not all the time, but like when you power up the ghosty bits.
Yeah.
Bioluminescence.
He's gonna be scary.
Scary!
Gonna just glow whenever you use Intimidate.
And
You can threaten people, be like, I'm going to use electricity on you, and then light up. They'll think you're charging an attack.
if those didn't see their
And a
skits.
little spirit of scales on his shoulder, like when he was in the mansion.
It's so adorable. It's so adorable. I want to scream.
Actually, what side do you want up on this one?
Let's keep it here.
Okay.
Scale mode, activate.
I'll have to do a proper character panel like these later, but
Oh yeah, like yeah, eventually. You say that just because you want another excuse to draw more book art.
maybe. I'm happy where Brooke's at right now.
I could tell. I'm very glad how the sessions have gone for you and Brooke. It makes me realize I need to figure out where my arc is going to, though. Definitely. But on that note, I just realized one bad thing about having a session that's dedicated to a character, even though I like the idea. I forgot what I was doing. I mean, obviously, we had a little time skip. I don't think we had a 5-day time skip. I don't think we had a whole full 5 days, because that's how long that Brooke was out for.
No. I had you guys go through 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. And I remember that in-game Tucker's current problem is, what do we do with Puppy? That's like Tucker's one focus right now. That, and I hope Ryda is okay right now with Brooke gone. That's the two concerns for Tucker.
So, to make the timeline clear, that 2 days was just to account for Brooke and Deadeye traveling to the cave, because that's how long it took them. Then Brooke was out for 5 more days. Brooke has been gone for a week.
A full week. That's going to cause problems for Ryda. Actually, I do think that, honestly, I'm just going to say out of character just of how planning, Hydra, if Ryda's not going to sit still for a whole week, then Tucker's probably in agreement to that, actually, because that's a long time.
So, during Ryda's whole, I guess, intermission while Brooke was gone, the first 2 days was them sort of dealing with the whole Brooke left me thing, and then they sort of calmed down. But since then, yeah, Ryder would do like a daily check-in on how Brooke is doing. But other than that, they're calm about Brooke being gone because they can, look at Brooke even if it's for a limited time because of Deadeye. But the fact they know, okay, they're still with Deadeye, they're still at the cave, they're fine.
Is Deadeye just constantly zapping the scrying?
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, I don't care who you are, stop spying on my friend.
Yes. So basically, Ryda isn't worried about Brooke, more just, well, Brooke is in good hands, he can take care of himself, Deadeye's there, so that's fine. I'm just going to do a daily check, but other than that, I'm going to focus on training myself.
Does Ryda update the others of us about what's going on? Because we wouldn't know about that.
If anyone asks, Ryda would let them know Brooke is still in the Cave of Mirrors.
Well, yeah, Tucker would absolutely ask, because...
Then yeah, Ryda would tell you. It's not like they're hiding that info.
Yeah, Ryda's doing the water scrying and such is known to Tucker, so it would be asked. In that case, I can definitely confirm that Tucker would have told Ralph. And Mawel, too.
Other than that, for the most part, Ryda keeps to themselves for the 5 days. You can see whenever you visit them, they are training something, whether it be their scythe, their psychic abilities, or just physically in general, trying to get more endurance and such.
Okay.
It's such a shame that your strength and vitality are capped.
Yeah. They're really trying to push themselves, even if it may not amount to much at this time.
I mean, capped for this evolution. Just to say. Honestly, placated by the scrying updates, Tucker would probably be also doing some training with Puppy like before. Trying to get Puppy's energy out there while also trying to figure out where should Puppy go? Because that's an open-ended question. I think that I don't think it could be really progressed in this week of time, at least not while at Seaspray. This requires some traveling to figure out, I think. But Tucker does make up his mind that, yeah, Seaspray is probably not the right place for Puppy anymore, I'm sorry, not Seaspray, Savantan, my bad. Seaspray might actually be a place for Puppy, possibly. Another possibility is maybe like Mudbray's Ranch. Perhaps some hard labor there could be good for Puppy to hone his energy out and stuff, or their energy. But anyways, the main takeaway though is that Tucker's going to make up his mind that that Puppy's going to go with them next time they travel, basically, and that Tucker feels confident that he can keep Puppy safe on a travel, and especially with Puppy, getting more energetic and more active and wanting to combat more. That's also inspiring Tucker to basically just do friendly spars with Puppy. Kind of like before, I remember that Tucker did a spar with Puppy 2 episodes ago, but it was more just a go ahead and hit me kind of spar. During this week of time, Tucker will train with Puppy in an active way, not going too aggressive, but actually like fighting back now too, so that Puppy actually has some training with like dodging and stuff too.
Which is entirely plausible, if that is what you wish to do. I mean, technically, you would want to do that without letting Pangoro know, or Rise, because they would probably not approve.
Tucker would still go easy. Tucker obviously won't. He won't go overboard. But since Puppy is starting to grow up and has always been kind of a hardy Puchina, too, given their background. Yeah. So very light hits, though. Like, keep really holding them back, but still getting Puppy trained up. Partially for safety's reasons, actually, because since Tucker is thinking about bringing Puppy along if Brooke doesn't disapprove when he's back. Puppy being able to... were you
sorry to interrupt you, dear Tucker. I was not talking about the training. The training they would probably be okay with, because Tucker does not have a mean bone in their body and they're not worried about that. No, they would not approve of you taking Puppy with you.
Oh. Yeah, that part's more just something that... Fortunately, I think Tucker would only really be talking... Actually, I guess Tucker would mention that to Ryda and Ralph to see what their opinions are. But probably wouldn't be saying that to the people that would greatly concern. Kind of incidentally more than anything else.
Basically asking their opinion on, hey, should we maybe take Puppy with us on next adventure?
Yes, because basically, what was explained about Puppy was that, and Tucker would explain to both Ryda and Ralph, basically Puppy's is getting a little older and getting too rambunctious and is using moves and stuff and is basically not being fit to be babysat at the spa anymore. It's just not an appropriate environment for a rambunctious Pochina. And also, it wouldn't work out too well keeping them at the base either, since again there's really not facilities for their possible destruction of different things with their rambunctiousness. So basically, Tucker explains perhaps they can go with us on the next travel, and we can figure out maybe a place like Mudrace Ranch or Sea Spray or somewhere else that could possibly offer a better alternative, somewhere where there's a little more space and more for some sort of activity that Puppy can get involved in with somebody we can trust.
Yeah. Ryder's suggestion would probably be, it is up to Tucker, but they would suggest against it unless he is capable of taking care of himself on his own. Like, let's say if they were to get separated or something.
That's, to that, Tucker basically would explain that's part of the reason that he is sparring with Puppy and getting Puppy. There's also an effort to get Puppy to listen more, because it's clear that Puppy does listen to Tucker, but is still, kind of a little bit all over the place. So part of the spars is also to basically also give commands and stuff. Like the sparring wouldn't just be Puppy versus Tucker, but also like, hey Puppy, like let's train you against this like bag I've set up or something to like attack. And so basically getting Puppy used to following commands and stuff so that could be safer.
Yeah. Once more, they'd probably repeat, yep, still your decision, but I still think it's better if they know how to take care of themselves more than just combat.
Which is a fair point, and Tucker will agree with that.
Then they go back to trading.
Ralph would certainly highlight the risk involved. Actually, I'm gonna respond in character.
Okay.
Roughly. I mean, if there's no other options, it could work. It seems like kind of a last ditch. But yeah, there is really no great place here in Savannah Town, is there? Mudbase Ranch could work. We take a side detour there. Of course, this is kind of a big risk. Like taking Puppy anywhere other than directly where we think he might fit in. That could be a huge risk. Because there's the obvious, Puppy might get hurt, but if we were doing something more delicate where maybe we didn't want to, where maybe we had to follow very specific instructions to not fall off a cliff or not wake up some big scary thing or other teen situations we get ourselves into. I mean, the three. I mean, me, you, and Riley could just about follow instructions, and we're adults. We could just about follow Brooke's instructions. So, yeah.
Tucker would probably... I'll respond to that in character, too. Tucker would probably mull over those thoughts and express to Ralph, yeah, I don't think that Puppy traveling with us long-term is a good idea at all. But it seems like Sea Spray just isn't the right place for Puppy anymore. Or it was Savan. Why do I keep mixing those up today? Savan Town just doesn't seem to have the right places anymore for Puppy. Especially as they grow bigger and stronger. That being said, I don't really want to take them on missions really either. But, well, maybe Brooke can have a suggestion when he gets back.
I nod a few times. Should be okay if we just take him directly to wherever we decide is safe for them to, grow up.
Tucker would nod and say, well, yeah, if it's a direct trip somewhere, then I know I can protect Puppy for that. But I agree, depending on what we're doing, Puppy would unfortunately get in the way, or I couldn't properly protect them.
You guys can keep going, but I would recommend we change to Locale 6. That way we're on a Cheer HQ thing.
Sure, that was actually all I had to say. There.
Well, I will say for Rida, your wounds will eventually heal, in spite of your best attempts to keep them open. It helps that Squirt has been changing out your bandages with your permission. And also Lyre using things like aromatherapy and forcing Rida to rest when nobody else is present. You're getting a lot better at understanding Lyre's weird language. So even if your brain doesn't exactly have a one-to-one translation of what the word is supposed to mean, you have a good idea of what it's supposed to be. Oh, hey, look. Tucker's moves are skewed.
Ah. Oh, and that happened.
Sorry, distraction moment. That said, with Tucker going out and training Puppy, burning off all that excess energy helps a lot. And they are absolutely ecstatic because they think that it is just play, which is probably for the best, because if something is entertaining to a child, it is less onerous for them to do, and they will do it happily.
Good.
And this does help keep them from overdoing it with the various elemental fangs that they seem to have.
It probably curbs their energy so they're not destructive at the base during this week.
Well, mostly. You do notice that they have been chewing on things a lot more lately, and perhaps a bit more aggressively. So, go ahead and give me an insight survival nature roll.
Okay.
You've been on a ranch. You have seen young Pokemon teething, which is impressive considering their first set of fangs.
So Pokemon certainly can be destructive when they are teething.
Safe to say, any open space with a chair in it, that chair has been aggressively chewed.
Oh no.
They know not to get terribly rough with the plushies, but also they've mostly been chewing on harder surfaces. The front desk has many bite marks in it.
And any attempts to buy bones and stuff, those are just gonna crunch straight through. So they serve as a very minor stopgap for this issue.
That is correct, but they do help. They keep Puppy from destroying things.
If I need to lose money to buy more bones, I will.
It's fine. You bought a number of bones. They might not entirely last the week, but, you know. But
I just hope
Ralph,
Puppy doesn't chew on anything from other people's possessions.
We will say not. If only someone could give him some ice to chew on. You see, that's a lovely idea, Hydra, except for the fact that Puppy knows Fire Fang.
Oh yeah, what moves does Puppy know?
Puppy knows the 3 elemental fangs that you knew.
That's right. 3 main ones. Which basically is a good chunk of destruction with those 3 elements. You could do pretty much anything.
But Ralph, what are you doing with the week before Brooke starts traveling back from the cave?
Let's see. I'll probably make every excuse to visit the post office because I think it's funny.
Such a troll.
Yeah. Definitely be catching Georgie up on maybe the medium strokes of what I know. You know, because I gave him all the big strokes, but I might catch him up, probably on the medium strokes of the current state of the world. And definitely Wawa and myself would hang out a bunch. Let's see, is there anyone else I would troll around town, like, with the Confagrigus?
The Confagrigus, the Beedrill Merchant.
He just has a ton of troll marks at this point.
God, one of my favorite spur of the moment ideas ever was when I pawned V off on Confagrigus.
V still has to get revenge on you.
Oh, by the way, can I put the carts away? Speaking of V.
Oh yes, you can put the carts away.
I'll keep them around. I'll keep them in the bag over here, just in case they ever become relevant. Where's the bag? I forgot where that went. Let's see.
Which bag? The DM bag or the HQ storage?
DM bag. Actually, I guess one of these up here.
Oh, the efficiency bag or
Okay.
other.
There.
Right up. I'm saying a lot today.
Oh, I guess there is
And-
one more thing I guess that Tucker should consider. I just realized, and that is going back to the seamstress. Just remember that.
But what was that, Ralph?
Oh man, I just had a hilarious idea. Write a letter from me to Brooke just to see what happens. Like, does it go all the way to the post office and then I deliver it all the way back? That'd be hilarious.
I mean, well, you would not be selected to deliver it because you cannot fly. But if you want to write a letter to Brooke, a letter can reach Brooke. Eventually.
Yeah, it'll just be welcome back. I'll put it in the mailbox that it's gonna be coming to anyway. Put the flag up. Just so the pick-a-peck has to come get it, fly to the post office, and then fly and bring it back to the same mailbox.
You overestimate the lengths they would go to. They would see that it's from Ralph, and leave it in the mailbox. Just flip down the flag.
Well done.
Yeah, just if you're watching from the window when this happens, because I'm assuming you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch the Pick-a-Peck perch on the mailbox, seeing that the flag is up, which is weird. There's not usually a lot of outgoing mail from the Cheer HQ. So they open it, they see the letter, see that it's from you to Brooke, and of course they don't know that Brooke is all the way off of the Cave of Mirrors. They don't exactly have. Look, Pangoro has a good information network. It's not that good. But they make a face, shove the letter back in the mailbox, shut it, flip down the flag in disgruntlement, and fly back to the post office.
That's amazing. I'm glad I could make that vitally important story be happening.
Question for you, Ryda. Are you going to be pursuing any alchemy during this downtime?
I was considering it. Just don't know what exactly I can make at the moment. Let me consult the book.
I wonder, actually. I had a thought about alchemy, actually. Tucker has no real current use for the moon fernstone, but it's a curio, and I wonder if something could be done with alchemy of it.
The Moonstone?
The moon fernstone.
Oh, yeah, the special Evo stone. Maybe?
Depending on how you look at evolution stones, it could be alchemic.
I mean, I guess you can consider like a powerful catalyst.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's something that probably would not be used up in the course of alchemy. And
so, yeah.
You guys do have a number of items that are just sort of laying around the base and in your inventories.
Indeed. Like the... Yeah. I forgot about the blitz chain. Where do we even get that?
That was from the mobsters.
Oh.
Can make some HP restore stuff. Or will restore stuff. If we have the materials for it.
Oh, really?
Who has the blitz chain?
It's in this HQ storage.
Oh, I see. You're looking in the storage. Yes. Which is a garment, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
That gives you super initiative, and then you go last for the rest of the combat.
It would be kind of cool. I guess one other thing is, Tucker's been holding this poison barb, which could be technically put on the Held Item slot, but doesn't directly benefit. So I wonder if there's some way it could be tinkered with somehow. I mean, it's just a poison barb, so actually I wonder if that could be used for alchemy too.
Oh yeah, probably, for making something poisonous.
Yeah.
Some kind of poison tonic, definitely, but Ryda still has some vials of very deadly toxic poison.
Yeah, we kind of did poison
Correct.
before, so...
Yes, you have 6 bottles of sludge. You also have the 2 beetril stingers, which I believe you have coated in sludge.
You have plenty of poison stuff.
Yeah, I'm very good on poisoning. Only problem is we haven't really come across many things that need to be poisoned. I mean, yeah, I can make some HP restore stuff. Or will restore, if that's a possibility. Wouldn't mind those.
I mean, you have the time to do so, and also, given your training time would be limited due to Liar's interference.
The poison bar keeps catching my attention because I keep thinking, oh yeah, poison fang. I want to learn that. Especially now it's on the My Unit sheet.
Ralph, I will note, that since you have Georgie around, they do know how to construct that crossbow that you have the pieces of.
Ooh.
It's not like they have a blueprint or anything, but considering they have spent the past many centuries stuck in computer systems of a place that was specifically designed to make anti-Dead Star weaponry, they could probably help cobble something together. Oh wait, you do have a crossbow, but you also have parts.
Yeah, I have parts to a gun. I have a whole ass crossbow.
I completely forgot about this, but there's also crossbow parts. I forgot that I gave the Wobsters crossbows.
They had a lot of them.
Yeah, good job, DM Brain. But they could help you modify that crossbow, if you so wished, into something more.
I'm interested. Maybe give myself like a shotgun blast, like fire a bunch of arrows at once, or just make it more powerful in general.
Well, their suggestion is going to be taking your zapper and applying it to the crossbow so that you have a what's the best way to put it? An electrical shotgun.
That sounds magic. Oh, that sounds magical. I love that idea. We're gonna give that a go. See if between our three brilliant minds we can't make that a reality.
I will say, in fairness, during this time, Mawile is going to complain that you are making another weapon when they're already trying to figure out how the Reaver works. And also, she wanted to make a power generator with the Zapper, but she will go along with this because it's important and it's science.
Indeed. Besides, I'm learning how to make it, power sources for other things. And we can always disassemble it when the adventure is done or whatever.
Very true. You also have the sigil shell fragment, which is something that could be used in this process, or it could be used in alchemy or something else. Ryda. Yes, we'll do Ryda's roll first. Ryda, you need to give me, I believe, I think it's an insight. We'll say insight, logic, will.
Okay.
And Ralph. Give me a smart contest logic for your crafting session with Georgie. Georgie and Mawile will be providing passive bonuses.
Alright.
Not bad.
Alright, let's see here. Alright, so what am I rolling to craft this Joker?
You're doing a smart contest logic.
Alrighty, let's see here.
As for you, Ryda, what are you trying to craft specifically?
I want to craft healing tonics and will restore tonics. If I had to choose, I'd go for the will restore.
Okay.
Hold up. Didn't I have 4 logic?
Yeah? Why are you down to 3?
Did Ralph ever go primal?
No.
No.
Huh. I don't know.
That's really weird, because I thought you had like 4 or even 5 logic.
I think I was supposed to go to 5 after the thing, because I asked about doing that, and you said probably after the fight, but I think it just got lost in the shuffle.
I think you're right. You're supposed to be at like max logic. I don't understand what happened.
Alright, well, we'll push these 2.
Okay, much better.
It's alright, I understand lost in the shuffle.
As for Rida, you will be able to make... Because I'm assuming you'll be able to gather any amount of the natural ingredients you need that you may not have. You will be able to make 2 will restore tonics.
Very nice.
So let's see, I will... Okay, the rope doesn't have a description, so... Yeah. How much did we say that restored? 1?
I didn't get any info on the specifics, just that I can make will restore tonics.
Oh, right. We will say that they can restore 1.
Okay. I'll write that down.
Mostly because will has become a very powerful resource.
Mm-hmm.
And you can turn it into HP.
I guess I could fill
Yeah.
heal at this point.
That's the main reason why I wanted the will one over the HP one, because then I can use heal pulse more.
And Ralph, you are tinkering for a while, and Georgie's new body is not the most conducive to dexterous things. They don't create a setback, but they do attempt to weld using their eye lasers at least once. Which causes a fire that Moel is able to put out.
Okay, no more eye lasers in the house.
So, you are able to attach your zapper to the crossbow and apply a few more mechanisms and doohickeys to it. It's starting to look like a proper mad science creation rather than just a taser. But you and Georgie are conscientious enough that maybe you just want the taser, since it's fairly innocuous and not an obvious weapon. So, you two have figured out a way so that you can just slide the taser out of the rest of the housing. And you can slot the taser in, with its little magnet upgrade and all, kind of like it's the battery to this electric crossbow. And what this has effectively done for you is now the zapper can attack all foes.
So I could attack someone further away.
Correct. It also means that the zapper now works off of channel instead of brawl. When you have it in the crossbow.
Alright. That was cool. So I have like a tech version of Brooke's thing where it changes. I can change the type of weapon. I love
Yes.
accomplishing magic-y things with tech.
Science is just magic understood.
And I've just modified your crossbow card, because I can. And also I'm being slightly lazy. That said, the week passes, and Brooke has not come home.
I had 2 more questions. I didn't want to be interrupted.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Okay. Firstly, I need a refresher on something, because the seamstress was brought up by you, by the way, I want to note, a couple sessions ago, as a, oh yeah, I can get that dress fit thing. So that's the thing that on my mind, but also, the tapestry. I need a refresher. I think what happened there was the seamstress asked for one of the tapestries over there, because they weren't taking care of them and she wanted to restore them. But they didn't want them taken, so I stole it, basically. And then I sent it off to her via Spinrack.
Yes.
I remember there was a goal at one point that I wanted to make a reproduction, but I don't think I really had the ability to get around to that in game. So, basically I just need to return to the seamstress at this point. For that.
Correct.
Part, right? Okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't missing any little gaps.
Indeed. Which, honestly, the best time for you to have returned to the seamstress would have been back when you were at the Moonwhite Ruins.
It's really a shame that we got depressed and the teleporter back. Definitely wasn't something on the mind at that point.
But if you wanted to take a trip out there, you could.
Would there be time for it?
Assuming you're not just spending the entire week plus the next 2 days afterward only training Puppy, yeah, there would be time. It would take you, I think, based on like somewhere from 4 to 6 days.
What do you guys think? Out of character question, what do you guys think? Should I do a little trip? I would have to leave I wouldn't bring Puppy to that though, but just a one-on-one, in a little group it's a little safer to protect Puppy, but as just an individual trip, not so sure. Probably would have to leave Puppy with Ralph. You up for the task? They won't interrupt your crossword too much.
Who says you have to go by yourself?
That's true. Wait, who would come?
You have other Pokemon.
Oh, I mean, other people from the HQ?
Yeah, there's Hot Dog. I mean, Lizard and Riley still aren't here, but there's good reason for that. Also, there's Noibat, who would take any chance to leave the town and do pioneer things.
That's true. I guess, Puppy could come along if there is a little group to take them with. And also, it should be a fairly safe trip, I think. I mean, the Muted Glade is not, completely safe, but also it's not really dangerous either.
And, well, another thing you could do is if you don't feel comfortable grabbing Hot Dog and or Noibat, you could put up a request at the Pioneering Club and see if anybody will take you on an escort mission for a small fee.
Ooh, that's a deal. I wonder would that speed it up possibly? Or would the trip still take the same amount of time?
The trip would take relatively the same amount of time, but it would cut it down from being 4 to 6 to being only 4 to 5.
Okay.
Because it's a minimum 2 days there and back, because it's about the same distance from Savan to the Muted Glade as it is from Savan to the Cave of Mirrors.
I didn't expect you to offer this, but you know what? I think I'll take you up on it. Though it does make me the other thing I was thinking of can't be done. But I think this is something that I think I'd be more interested in character.
Okay.
Okay.
If you put up a 100 Poke reward, there will be a team that will escort you.
Done. Here you go. I guess you just
you will not even need to roll survival.
Okay, that'll keep things nice and simple.
Gosh darn it, I'm doing again.
I'll just mention, there was something I wanted to do with Ralph Reddit, possibly, but I mean, they're busy with their own things, and also this is now making me busy in character, so, but one thing I wanted to say, just for the characters, or just for the players to know, Tucker wants to learn Psychic Fangs. You guys are the best bet for that.
True. Very fair. One big question, Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tell Ralph and Ryder you're leaving?
Yes. Unlike some people, Tucker keeps others informed.
Okay. Well, you'll be added to the scrying list.
The scrying list.
Right.
You're turning to everybody's mom that calls them every time, like on every Monday to make sure they're okay.
So, is there anybody at the table here or in the audience who would like to pitch what Pokemon are coming with you?
Well, I got no idea. I'm open for suggestions, audience.
Of course, you would pick an Arcanine.
Of course, I'd pick an Arcanine. Have you met me?
I'm thinking a sassy Patchery too.
You're about to be a character.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was thinking Doreen-esque.
He's only Pachizuru on the game, actually. Oh,
And
I
of
think
course, we
Tucker
got a
would.
Lycanroc from Neo.
Tucker would invite Noibat because Tucker does know that Noibat would like to go on more adventures and stuff. So Tucker does invite Noibat if Noibat wants to come.
Noibat will come along, and also because they're Pioneer, they will get a cut, which means they are getting a portion of the reward.
That's fine. Noibat deserves a little payday.
My goodness, we have so many suggestions. Ennio, which Lycanroc?
That's what he means, yeah.
You got the big dog, the little dog, and then the Pachirisu.
Midday. Okay. Alright, so Tucker, you are in the presence of another dog who is native to this continent.
Yay.
A much larger, floofier dog who is probably not from this continent.
Yeah.
And then a Pachirisu that has to make the sassiest commentary the whole way. It at least makes it entertaining. The fact that they get in frequent arguments with Noibat is of little consequence, and they are often hiding in the Arcanine's floof, and will poke their head out. Just, they don't touch the ground at all during the entire trip. They are always on the Arcanine.
Okay, I see. You get paid to do an escort, and then you just get a free ride the whole way.
They have their own things that they do. It's just that they get a ride in the Arcanine floof. They are small.
Everybody would want to do that.
But you are able to in 2 days get up to the Muted Glade and to the seamstress's abode. Mind you, they will not enter the abode because they do not want to risk their lives. Noibat will follow you in, of course. And Puppy will follow you in if you let them.
Tucker will let Puppy follow them in, but keep them very close so they don't cause a ruckus in there.
Yeah, so, I brought you his here, so, you go talk to the big scary spinal lady yourself, yeah? Yeah.
Your character voice. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, Tucker is notably not as intimidated by her. Whether he should be or not is up for debate. But but here's the thing, Tucker does, and if you need to take more money from me for this, bring cookies, the cookies that she likes.
Oh, you brought a tin of biscuits.
Yeah, tin of
You
biscuits.
brought an offering. This is wise. There are characters in an entirely different game that failed to bring her offerings 3 times.
But yeah, Tucker isn't nearly as scared of her. She's a little bit intimidating, but Tucker thinks she's nice, okay? She was nice last time. So, basically Tucker will offer the biscuits and say hi and ask how the tapestry is going, basically, if it got to her fine.
Shoot, I think I'm still slightly burned out on that voice. Darn it. It doesn't help that I'm warm and don't have a drink. I should fix that.
We could do out of character recap or in character voice if you want. I wasn't sure how much time you wanted to spend with this, so I was just keeping it to
I like doing the voices, though.
Voices
I do feel
are
bad
fun.
not doing the voices.
Voices are fun.
On the subject of the tapestry, she has restored it. And now it just needs to find its way back into the gallantry. Which she notes that it appears that the knights are not there, from what she has heard. So it shouldn't be too hard for somebody to just go in and put it up.
Oh. Tucker balls that one over. Here's the thing. The muted glade, the gallantry, it's kind like it's a detour, but it's on the way back. So technically, Tucker could also do it.
It will make the return trip 3 days.
Yeah, that's why Tucker balls. Well, Tucker is also aware, though, that Rita is doing those scries, so if Tucker does take a detour, Rita would be like, oh, okay, they're doing that. So, knowing that, Tucker's going to offer to go ahead and return it. After all, Tucker does know exactly where he took it from. On the walls.
Which is excellent. And she will give you the gingerly folded tapestry.
Tucker will note, I still feel a little bit bad about taking it from them, but I hope they do appreciate its restoration. Maybe they'll come back for more work from you after that. With any luck.
Oh, think nothing of it. They would never have managed to get it repaired anyway. This way, some of the old splendor is restored.
I forgot how cool her voice is. I see why you wanted to do it again.
It's been a while. I think I forgot her original voice. I just remember she is French accented spider.
French accent spider does narrow it down a fair bit, though. Tucker will also ask about the dress, the maid outfit.
This causes the seamstress to chitter quietly but happily, and she will bring you over to a stand where your dress is, as my brain and mouth go entirely blank, where your dress is draped upon the stand, and it looks much nicer than before. As I recall, that empty onyx of yours got... Wait, was the onyx turned into a diamond, or did you give it to her?
Oh boy. I need to remember this too. Let's see. Onyx. Now that was the stone that had the move in it, right? Originally.
It was the move gem.
Yeah.
I think
And
that got
I definitely
transmuted.
I don't have that anymore. Well.
The diamond was made from a citrine, right?
Okay.
Okay, that's right. You guys had other gems, right? Which means that you gave her the empty move gem.
That does sound right because I don't have it anymore. So that would make sense. And just to clarify, I gave her the Cafe V uniform specifically to work on, right?
Yes, it was your personal maid outfit.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Considering that you have changed, perhaps you should test the fit.
Sure. Tucker kind of just answers politely, but does betray some excitement upon seeing the dress. Actually, his tail is wagging quite a bit. And he does eagerly step up to it and slowly work it on carefully and gingerly. Though, obviously, it's built to be a lot more durable, so gingerness is probably not needed too much. And let me actually go ahead, because I haven't had it on the table for a bit. Because this might be a good time to remind everybody what the dress looks like. Let me get the original artwork. Because I assume that it's similar but different to the old version of it. Okay, here it is.
Small side note, I know there was art done of the seamstress. I don't remember if it was by me or someone else, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, hold on. I got it. It was Kyrio that did it.
Okay. I figured that it was probably Kyrio, because I don't quite remember sketching her.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me just pop a couple of these down because I need different reasons. Okay, first off, I'll put this down because I am curious to ask you. So here's the original, and obviously it was fitted not only to grow with me, but also it was improved to be, because the previous dress I brought it to. I remember, I think it was as a Putchin, my character brought that into the swampy place where Shaman was, and it didn't go so well. And after that, the dress was put away. Also, here's the artwork for the seamstress.
Oh my goodness, I had completely forgotten.
It's good to it's good to pull it up again. It's very pretty.
She is wonderful.
I'm curious if you can find out the seamstress after the camera a few days ago too. What are you talking about?
So I was asked to guest star in a side game the other day for another Pokemon game, and my job was to provide the voice for a clothier NPC, and I laid out a couple of options, one of which was the seamstress plus Spinnerax, a Furfrou, and like one other character option that I present that I can't remember right now. They of course chose the Ariados, and I got to terrorize the entire party who was there.
Oh, that explains a little reference you were making too. That makes me a little coy. I didn't notice it first.
Yes, it was fun.
I guess it's a good time for me to bring her up today.
Yes.
So, the original outfit was basically a suit portion that didn't cover the belly, and then some nice cute stockings, and of course my I guess handkerchief you wear on your head, whatever that's called. But that's not part of the outfit. That's just saying I have, which I don't actually wear right now, but maybe I will later or find another purpose. Anyways, though, the main outfit though was obviously the suit. I don't know if the stockings counted as part of the outfit or not. I feel like stockings are a little easier to fit on things, though.
Well, regardless of whether or not you left the stockings with her, the suit has been adjusted. And since you didn't ask for any color alterations, there haven't been any that have been made. But the suit is now larger, the frills are a little more elaborate. There's small detail patterns on the main fabric of the suit itself. And when you put it on and slide it on, initially it's very snug and tight because it was an adjustment made for a growing Puchiana, not a Mightyena. But this is the seamstress we're talking about. She wouldn't create work that's half-baked. Not like certain biscuits that she no longer consumes. You brought her the right kind. She is very pleased. But
Also, yeah, I probably did leave the stockings, so they probably been fitted as well.
you put this on, and it does take a minute for it to adjust. And around the waist, there is instead this black ribbon sash of some very soft, slightly shiny material. And at the back of it is something holding it in place. It is the onyx, now somehow carved and faceted in the shape of a heart.
Ooh.
The back end of your maid outfit now trails further over you and splits slightly down the middle, about halfway down. So it trails, it parts, and you feel as though you can put something into this outfit, as the Ariados helps you with your stockings, of which now you have 4 stockings, if you so wish to have stockings on every limb.
Ooh. I will consider that. Also, yeah,
Sweet.
parts like the suit parts. It's parts like a tuxedo's coattails at the bottom, I assume.
Yes.
Also, leaving room for the tail. Oh, that sounds very pretty. I love how you described that.
Yep. And the little bow tie portion has been fixed up as well. Instead, it's more of a brooch that has a slightly deeper hued pink ribbon on it.
Oh. These are good. Also, I do think the pink still works with me, so the lack of color adjustments is completely fine.
Well, she either was going to leave it pink or she was going to make it black.
I probably could rock either. Oh, I do love the sound though. Okay, Kyrio, you know what to draw now for my update. No. At some point, if I don't have any means of paying for that, but eventually I'd like to pay it. It's like that.
Well, it's interesting you talk about being able to rock either. Do you follow the feeling that you are able to pour your energy into this?
I guess the way she assembles clothing, it's not mundane, right? There are properties to these things that she makes sometimes. So
She is a garment maker.
yeah. And she also
She can
put
make-
the onyx too.
Yes, she can make normal clothes if she wants, but her specialty lies in creating the empowered things we know as garments.
Mhm. So this has potential. Yes, I think that I could probably shift it. I think so.
Alright.
I guess the way I put it is that basically when Tucker puts the outfit on, it is like you said at first tight, but it slowly just comes to fitting that perfect stunkness, like a perfectly fitted outfit, like what you'd get if you went to a clothes store and had somebody work with you to get just the right fit on set. Eventually, it feels just like that, and it almost feels like a part of the body almost at that point. It fits so well, and as Tucker wears it, the fact that it's a garment and not just a piece of clothing is really felt. That energy, something about it, kind of, I guess the silly word to use, but it sparkles with Tucker's own energy, and both kind of in dark and fairy ways. Take that as you will, but basically, yes, Tucker feels that ability to shift it and kind of just pours his feelings into the outfit, being, his aspect and all. And the outfit shifts to probably more than one color, unless that you don't think that's possible, as the emotions flow into it.
the garment shifts and flows for a moment, and the main color briefly shifts in a wave to black, and then back to pink, until it settles on the main pink color, with the accents being this lovely sort of satin black, with darker pink hues as a tertiary color. The gemstone on the back, even though you can't see it, has shifted to be almost like a tourmaline, with half pink and half black. But even more useful for you, which, by the way, your stockings now alternate stripes instead of being white and pink, are now pink and black.
Lovely.
A pair of larger ribbons extend out, made of this energy from both your typings, and they become these sort of ribbon limbs, these black ribbon limbs that have swirling pinkish purple patterns on them. And you can feel them as if they're your own arms.
Oh, wow.
And manipulate them around, and they have little grabby bits on the end.
Oh. I got Sylvian power.
Except not fleshy.
I like that. So yeah, I think that I see what you mean. So I can shift between pink and black, and probably in between that, because those are my main typing colors, or the representations of their color. And I like that a lot. That's really cool.
And now Tucker has hands.
And hands. And that's the biggest thing too. Like, Tucker first notices the hue shifts as Tucker kind of leans their thoughts or feelings one way or another, and realizes that what the range is there. And then when the ribbons come into being, as that energy is flowing into the garment, Tucker reacts in surprise at first to that, and then realizes how manipulatable they are. There's two of them, right? Or is there more than two?
Correct, there are two.
Okay. And where do they come from on the clothing again?
They extend from the back because they are connected to the gemstone. They were originally part of just the larger ribbon sash, and they're the ribbon ends that have extended out, and they've basically become little ribbony hands.
Tucker is taken aback by this in a good way. Like, just, that's amazing. And probably will test the grabby ribbons and see if they can pick up a simple object in the room.
Alright, give me a smart contest perform.
Okay.
It feels pretty natural to use these, which is weird to think about, as you have spent many months as a quadrupedal creature. But you have some old human memories to rely on.
I think...
How excellent! They seem to work for you just fine. That was the part I was most worried about, you see. It was most difficult to get it to work. The ribbons were very difficult.
I don't know what to say. You put so much more work into this than I ever thought you would. Even knowing your skills and talent, of course. Thank you so much.
She smiles. You are most welcome, Tucker. It was a pleasure to work on this.
Tucker will spend a little time just entertaining himself by picking up just something randomly on a table and then placed it back down and pick it up again. Just kind of like simply fascinated at the simple motor skill of such an interesting ability. So from the garment and all. So eventually, though, he'll stop doing that and smile politely and say, "Well, it'll definitely help me put the tapestry back up too. I'll make sure to get on that soon. It'll be on my trip home."
Excellent. Keep in mind, the ribbons can only extend so far. They may extend your reach a little bit, but if you stretch them too hard...
And she makes a clicking noise with her mandibles.
But do not be too worried. They will repair themselves eventually.
Tucker nods. Of course. I gotta be a bit careful of them. They're not invincible. But they're gonna help so much with just day-to-day things. Thank you so much for this.
And thank you for your patronage and all of your help. Now, sir, would you perhaps have more business for me?
Tucker thinks on that one. But, I don't know, out of character, is there anything else? I don't think so. This was the main thing that Tucker wanted to get for the seamstress, so, aside from finishing her task, I think that's it. Tucker will shake his head and express, "No, you've done everything and more than I could have asked for. Thank you again." I guess I keep just saying that over and over again, but I mean it. And with that, Tucker will take his leave. Go ahead.
It is always a pleasure to have such lovely customers, especially those who bring me such delicious treats.
As she holds up the empty biscuit tin.
Tucker will smirk and say, "Well, I'll try to think of another reason to come back and bring more biscuits."
Anything you need inquiring in your garment, let me know.
Okay, that's very cool. I didn't expect this to get so neat.
Oh, before you leave, do the ones outside need anything?
Oh, what she asked?
She asked if the ones outside need anything, because of course she knows that there are other guests outside that haven't come into her home. And I'm kind of imagining that the Pachirisu somehow senses this, and at the top of their lungs, pokes their head out from the Arcanine floof and goes, "No!"
Tucker will follow that up by saying, "No, I think they're good. They were just helping me get here a little faster."
Oh, and here I was hoping for more guests. Oh well. Have a safe trip, Tucker.
Tucker will nod and give a very friendly wag, and also wave goodbye with one of the little ribbons that now can be controlled.
That's so cool. Besides, I don't want to cover up 1 inch of this hot bod. And she makes pose. She looks like any other Pachirisu. She don't look any different, but yeah.
And with that, Tucker will head out. And with, oh yeah, did Noibat do okay with the seamstress?
Oh, right. Noibat followed you in. Noibat has been quiet this entire time. Not because they don't have anything to, like, speak on or even necessarily ask her, but, boy howdy, she's terrifying. And, well, he didn't want to interrupt Tucker. My vet noticed that Tucker was having a moment, and that's important.
I bet Puppy thought the outfit was cool and then tried to bite the ribbon.
Oh, yes, immediately. Luckily, this does not damage or destroy the ribbon, and no, you do not feel pain.
That's good. I was wondering about that. Like, tactile, but hopefully not too painful if it gets hit or something. Yeah.
But if you do not stop them, they will try to tug the ribbon away from you, which may in turn cause Puppy to try and drag you places.
Tucker will do, I think this was done a couple sessions ago, but Tucker will do the thing where place forepaw on Puppy's head, squish slightly, gently, but slightly to make them stop doing that thing. just a heavy head pat of, nope, you're not, stop that now. Honestly, the ribbons make me think. Like, I feel like they're kind of easy for Tucker to figure out because I think that they kind of sound like they flow a little bit like Dark Pulse does.
That is the entire point. You can now use Dark Pulse to grab things.
Ooh! Basically, because Dark Pulse had a few different forms when Tucker previously used it. It could be more of a mist, but it was sort of semi-tangible at times, depending. So this is kind of just helping conduit that into more of a tangible sort of form. Might make it much, much easier. That's the way I'm looking at it, at least. And it makes sense, because again, it came from this gem that originally held Dark Pulse, so...
Yep, the entire point of this outfit was to allow Tucker to use Dark Pulse and or just their personal dark energy to finally have the grabby hands and make life easier.
The physicality of Dark Pulse and Dark Energy is really cool. That is actually extremely utilitarian. This is a wonderful upgrade. Thank you so much for doing this season. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I actually thought the seamstress stuff wouldn't take place for a while, so I'm really happy.
Well, you had the spare time. Tucker getting hard light powers, but instead it's hard darkness.
Yeah.
The power of darkness. The power of darkness continues.
But yeah, Tucker will do as said though, and also head over to the gallantry, which that can be addressed later. I don't want to take up too much time, but yeah, so that's probably going to happen.
Which is fine. It does mean that it will take you 3 days to get back to Savantown, but, you know, you've got an escort.
Yeah.
Brooke, I have neglected you the entire session thus far. I apologize. I'm glad. So, you and Deadeye get to leave.
I like how you said that like he was imprisoned or something. Alright, you're out of jail now, you can get going.
Would you mind giving me a tough survival nature roll?
Big money. Not well.
So one thing that you probably figured out after evolving, Brooke, is that being bigger means you eat more. And Deadeye is happy to help you continue hunting your way across the plains as you head back to Savantown. It's also a good chance for you to get more familiar with your new body, as well as certain other aspects of your powers that you explore during camp on the night over. But at the very least, you do not go hungry while you are traveling. Gonna have to dip into Ralph's snack budget. Ralph eats less now. And has since he evolved.
Yeah, he actually did a weird reverse where he got bigger but actually less hungry.
Well, that's because Ralph can now sustain himself off of pure energy.
That helps a little.
It's just not tasty or filling. I feel like Tucker will probably join Brooke on hunts. I feel like they both kind of need my energy now. Reminder, guys, this is the size difference here for my evolution. From puppy to big puppy. Brooke finds the new dietary requirements somewhat annoying, but not unexpected. He considers that he may need to hunt more on his own instead of taking up more of Savantown's resources. A distinct possibility. Especially considering for alligator probably consume usually aquatic prey, I would again assume.
Go for the fishies.
But it's fine. There are a number of larger feral mons that exist in the Plains continent. Deadeye may or may not play party to luring a Zebstrika to its inevitable consumption. Not realizing that you are friends with one. You know, that's an excellent question. I'm gonna say yes. Assuming that you attempt to consume any that you come across.
Makes sense. You can convert the energy directly into your ghostiness.
I mean, you would see Ghastly in the distance at night, but they would probably give you and Deadeye a fairly wide berth.
Oh no, I'm reminded of that one ghastly thing. Oh no.
Whoa. Whoa. Just vanished.
Yes, a good reason to go, oh no. Part Hisuian Typhlosion. Yeah, kind of. He does end up with those vibes, doesn't he?
Brooke making weird comments to Deadeye how tasty they look. Deadeye would, of course, just arch one of their irises, looking over at Brooke, and then shrug. He's heard weirder. And in fairness, I'm pretty sure he heard about some of Brooke's escapades, maybe? Maybe. I don't know how public the consumption of lamp was. Probably not very. Ah, yes. Drunk stories. Which, by the way, you're larger now, which means you can handle drink better. Body mass. Look, if your goal one day is to become a pirate captain, being able to drink feels like a prerequisite. Also, you're in the Plains continent. It would be tequila. Yes, you may. Unfortunately, I do not have a card prepared for Death Grip. That is the one thing I did not manage to do. I knew I needed to prep something in advance, and instead I prepped an encounter table.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna rework the card. Let's see. Oh, do I have to replace something since it's a garment?
Unless you would like the uniform to do something mechanical besides giving you the grippy hands, no.
Okay, yeah, just the grippy hands. I wasn't sure the grippy hands were enough to count as a slot. Okay, I should remove this. Let's see.
The Ariados could have very easily added some sort of bonus to it, but the main feature was grippy hands. Yeah, speaking of the card for that thing, you know how I just said I prepared things that I didn't need instead of preparing things that I did? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You just let me know when you do have something later, and I'll make sure to add it in.
When I have made them, I will provide them to you. Goodness. Y'all have such an array of moves, the lot of you.
Yeah, I have a lot of moves for Ryder.
How many custom moves does everybody have at this point, actually? Yeah.
A fair number.
3 for you there, and then there's that one up there for the scythe, and then it's the market chest. Okay, that's 5, technically.
I think Ralph has the smallest number of custom moves, but that's because Ralph's metronome is special.
He technically has a custom metronome, yeah. He has 1 unique
Metronome
card,
covers a lot.
and I have 2 unique cards, I think. Yeah.
And also Ralph possesses the strongest ability, Wish.
I mean, I'm coming close to getting some more custom cards, too. Maybe. I gotta keep practicing.
Which, thank you for reminding me, Kyrio. If you choose to do so during the trip, like at night or something, on the second night, you would be able to test some of that out and figure out your options for lack of less direct terms.
Keep your mysteries.
I shall.
Also, somebody said earlier, now I can wield the sword. I don't know what the weight limits of these ribbons are yet. Also, technically I could have already done Sith style, but yeah.
Yeah. Actually, technically speaking, this means Tucker could wield a second held item, depending.
Oh yeah, because technically more holdies.
Yes, but that would occupy your holdies. Otherwise, you could use your holdies to freely utilize items from your bag.
That's true, like I was thinking that they could be a more efficient pop into the bag and grab and something.
Yes, instead of needing to use an action.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, I guess I can write that on the card then. Let's see. Because
Yes.
that's a mechanical thing.
Yeah, nice digs, Butterball, nice digs.
Why am I imagining Tucker juggling with them on the way back?
Oh, on the way back, Tucker would absolutely be like, just use them for little opportunities. Like, oh wait, no, I can pick that up. I'll use, yeah. It just finding opportunities to use them.
You know, I got this spot, like, right behind my ears, like, right there, yeah. These short little stubby arms can't quite reach the back of my head.
I can give myself ear scratches.
Tucker has discovered the mightiest strength. They can pat themselves.
This is amazing.
I'm gonna be honest, that's really adorable, Kyrio.
Brooke will show off the Deadeye. And showing off with the new move, right?
Brooke is going to show off their new abilities to Deadeye, which is going to have results.
Oh, I can imagine what it is.
Which moves did you just technically learn? Death was the... Let's see, what was it?
Brooke just learned Death Grip.
There's a secret thing as well that they're not disclosing.
Oh, okay.
Correct. My assumption is that they are showing off the secret thing, which has interesting results.
Oh, okay.
Depending on which options Brooke picks in what order, there may be a new cinder circle out in the plains, or they may be coming back with piles of plains grass.
Interesting. I just realized it makes a lot of sense that, like, I got Sylvian style ribbons but with Dark Pulse energy because I'm Dark Fairy, so that's perfect. Hello, James. This is Pokerole.
Hello, viewer. Yes, this is Pokerole, heavily modified for our enjoyment. But it is a tabletop RPG, and this is a very long-running campaign. We hope you enjoy your time here.
Very.
Oh, you know, another thing that I'm going to do on the trip, if Puppy gets a little too rambunctious, Ribbon, grab underbelly, pick up, put on back. It'll help to keep them under control.
The first time you do this, Puppy has learned that if they are gremlin, they will be picked up and then they can have the tall.
Oh no, reinforcement, bad negative reinforcement learning.
Because they go absolutely sparkly-eyed when they are on your back, because they are now tall. So unless you hold them in place, they will jump off, and they will continue to be gremlin until you do it again. And this will happen at least 3 times.
Unfortunately, fortunately, they're cute enough when they're gremlinly that Tucker's gonna put up with this tree. Go ahead and give them their ride over and over again, at least for a little while.
That is the gist of this game in particular, James Braco 1. The base rules for Pokerole are not PMD styled. We are using the PMD rules among, again, many modifications. We are also not using the most updated version of Pokerole because this started before that existed. Also, yes, Ennio, Puppy would try to gnaw on the Lichen Rocks.
I knew it.
Crunch.
I was just imagining they're just walking along with Puppy just latched onto one and just walking with the steppies.
I was imagining that one day you wake up to the crunch, crunch, crunch noise. I will say, however, that you should probably take a 5 to 10 minute break to stretch, grab water. For those of us who may need to start dinner, can start dinner. So I will be back in a little bit, and I do heavily encourage a lot of you, please stretch at the bare minimum.
Yeah. Doing so.
I'll stretch and you guys can watch. I know, I gotta be all appropriate and stuff.
Interesting note. Ryder will probably scry on one of the days Brooke is coming back, so they might catch a glimpse of Brooke's already evolved form. Probably not for long because of Deadeye, but yeah.
That musical stink out of nowhere.
Sorry.
It's okay. This is very
That's why I pushed the
surprising.
talk.
It's okay. I do appreciate the push and talk with the background. Nice. I just like it was funny to me. It's like, oh yeah, Ryder probably got to see Brooke's new form. Ah, that's like glorious.
But no, they probably wouldn't get a good look. Just probably like, oh hey, look, they're moving, and I see Brooke is and the vision's gone.
Good night, Pierce. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm curious timeline-wise though, when Tucker leaves and gets back, like, is he gonna be gone and Brooke gets back before him, or
I
has he
think
done his adventure and gotten back before Brooke?
It sounds like Brooks came back first because, after all, Tucker wanting to be helpful and not seeing why the trip should be wasted. At least, remember, technically a trip was already wasted. They could have visited. We could have visited Seamstress before teleporting back, but everybody was sad, right? So, so the gallantry needs the tapestry returned. Also, another reason that Tucker's going to go return the tapestry before coming back is simple. The seamstress mentioned that the knights aren't there. That's piquing Tucker's curiosity, so that's another reason that Tucker's going to stop by there first. Like,
Hey, it's your dime, kiddo. I'll stay with you as long as the cash flows, yeah? And she'll give the cutest wink.
Oh, no.
Like the expression, her expression and mannerisms of her movement do not match up against the words coming out of her mouth that are quite selfish.
Oh no! It is true though that Tucker might have to pay an extra 100 since the trip's being a little longer. Since, you know, got people for hire right now. So
Yeah,
I
she
guess
will
I'll
definitely.
she will definitely. Try to bring it
She will
up.
definitely try to do that.
Okay,
It is within her character.
mention that to Car when Car's back, because Car might actually say like, "Yeah, I have to pay more," which is fine.
I'd argue that the Arcanine would be a very pure-hearted good boy. He's like, nah, we're happy to help.
So,
we don't need extra payment.
So Doreen is a character I have played before in other campaigns. Like, she wasn't a Patricia in the other campaigns, she was just a squirrel. But, like, I've played this character thoroughly. That's why I already had a voice and mannerisms and, like, speech patterns and shit.
That makes sense. So, James, the scenery it's the Plains continent, which isn't... It's basically a super mystery dungeon world, but with a Marcana, basically. And that's a Savannah-like continent.
Yes,
Sure,
but there's also sport territory on that.
Yep, that's what's happening. So while you were gone, the Patricia is trying to extort more money out of Tucker.
Of course they are. I see that V has competition.
It's because of the fact that there's a detour to go to the gallantry, making the trip a little longer. So that does raise the question if these people need to be paid more.
You set the reward at 100, which is the baseline for a non-dangerous escort mission.
Yeah.
So, no? They would have to negotiate that with Pangoro.
I mean, the gallantry stopover is no more dangerous. At least it shouldn't be. Where are the knights? Actually, that's part of the reason that Tucker wants to go do that before come back. Because the mention of the knights being gone piqued curiosity.
I will say, since I'm back while I wait for needing to turn over dinner, that when you do go to the gallantry to put up the tapestry, it looks like they've been gone for a while. Because when you check in the rooms, since I assume you will out of curiosity...
I mean, nothing's locked.
Well, remember the setup of the gallantry. Everything's basically open except for a couple of rooms.
Yeah. So yeah, Tucker will poke around.
Most things are covered in a fine layer of dust. As though, there haven't been creatures in and around the area for some time.
It makes Tucker consider for a second that it has been quite a while since they last visited here. There's sort of a melancholy over the place, given its emptiness.
But Tucker will find a note stabbed on the war room door. That says that Team Gallant will be away for some time. They have a pressing mission to attend to in the west.
In the west?
All inquiries for chivalry, justice, and bombast are to be accordingly sent via mail to the Mist Continent.
Tucker makes note of this note, but there is no bombast that he needs help with right now. He will remember to tell the party about this. And, of course, Tucker will hang up the tapestry. If it's a little high, he might sheepishly ask the Arcanine if they can use them as a stepping stone.
Well, for those who may recall, there are multiple layers to the gallantry, so you are able to get up to where you need to go. And because you now have the grabbies, it's much easier for you to set the tapestry up.
Yeah.
And it makes for a nice centerpiece. The other tapestries are still worn and ragged, but at least there's this one.
Tucker takes a moment to appreciate its restoration, because before it was all rolled up, so only now is Tucker able to get a good look at it with its restoration. Once it's unfurled and hung up. Even though the rest of the place is dusty and the rest of the tapestries are still pretty worn out, it still looks a little bit more nice to have at least one of them looking all fancy and new. And I'm assuming the seamstress did a great job and didn't like deface it at all.
Well, of course not. But knowing Sir Cheval, his response will be something like, "No, its original glory has been defamed."
This might not be a conversation that Tucker faces at a later date.
Last time I was around these ducks, they kept calling me a harlot and a wench, and you try and hit on a few knights, show them a good time, and they just start calling you all sorts of names.
Oh, Kyrio says they're at Astro Rock. Most likely that's where that one antagonistic knight came from. Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe.
Well, Tucker won't tarry around the gallantries for super long after making sure nobody's around and hanging up the tapestry. And Tucker will be a good boy, not take anything either, if there's anything to even take. But seeing the place is fine, if a little unoccupied at the moment, Tucker will head back home because knowing that people will probably be waiting on him at that point.
Hey, so I can't figure out if I want to ask this in a Ralph voice or in a Doreen voice. I'm just gonna ask it in a me voice. You think? So, do hone edges and that whole evolutionary family, do they just forge more of themselves? If their population gets low, when one of them dies, they just go to the forge and forge another one of themselves, or how does that work?
As Kyrio says, all Pokemon come from eggs, even ghost Pokemon. I'm not going to brain the logistics because I have to run a campaign. But in the instance of a naturally occurring, hone edge, a possessed weapon, there are enough weapons out there of many differing kinds that can happen.
Alrighty.
Listen, and you don't ask questions about the mineral egg group and how they do eggs, okay?
Yeah, just I need my sanity. Yeah, magic. Pokemon.
Something magic.
Something Pokemon.
Hand wavy game logic magic.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that. Also, me dropping the implication there are hone edge style Pokemon that are different weapons.
I have that in my campaign. It's pretty
That's a neat idea.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Hone edge Kai.
When two Pokemon hang out long enough, sometimes you just kind of find an egg. Yeah, as Scarlet and Violet likes to imply, since all you have to do is go on a picnic.
We're watching a great video for Radical Soda is doing a playthrough of that. He had two of his Pokemon do that on a picnic, and he made a funny bit about it. I'd recommend watching that.
Canonically, eggs just kind of pop into existence. I'm well aware. There's the infamous scene of watching the cosmos just occur because an egg has popped into existence. So, Tucker, how early in this week of absence did you head off to the seamstress? Was it after 2 or 3 days?
I would say, since you discussed with us 2 sessions where you discussed what are we doing over the course of the next 2 days, right? I think it was 2 days, or was it 3?
Yes.
Okay, that would be the time that Tucker would be in Savon Town. The day after that would be when the trip to seamstress is is like planned and done.
Okay, so Tucker would be back before Brooke left the Cave of Mirrors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's still a faster trip than staying asleep for 5 days.
Yes. Effectively, you left as Brooke started the trial, and you made it back when Brooke's trial ended.
Wow, yeah.
Which is really funny timing, honestly.
Also, really interesting perspective on that trial.
Which means that you probably wouldn't have seen the whole rainstorm bit, like everybody else.
Oh no, I guess not. But I think that when Tucker returns to town, well, he's got a good nose. The dampness would be notable.
Yeah. It rained. Hey, Ryda.
Mm-hmm.
You frequent the garden, right?
Probably.
Because Lyre tends to be there?
Well, yeah.
Oh, this probably helps our crops.
Your lumberry tree has lumberries.
Yeah.
Would somebody like to roll me a Doom die to determine how many are currently available?
I can do it.
Yeah. You know what they say. If you have a lum, you won't be glum.
4.
Wow, that is impressive.
Nice.
Very nice.
So, yeah, we're talking about healing items?
Yeah. They're good berries. Well, I think their taste was to be checked. Aren't they? Yeah, they're kind of a little bit of everything, aren't they? Except for sour.
Yeah, you guys now have 4 cure whatever status ailment berries.
Oh.
Yoink.
Y'all have panacea berries. Congrats.
Where'd you put them? Oh, did you give it to everybody?
I
I
stole one.
They're under the battle initiative and
Oh, there you
locations card.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good.
Yes, it only took a majority of the campaign for the tree to finally bear fruit.
It took 3 years, but we got some berries. I'll put them in the HQ storage.
Okay.
Okay.
If you guys want them later, you can grab them.
I do remind you guys, you have stuff in the storage.
Yeah, I will take one. Because I think that's something that, when told about Tucker, would stock one up.
I definitely took one.
Hmm.
I'm gonna turn over dinner, and you
Okay.
guys can determine if there's anything special you want to do for the remaining 2 days before Brooke comes back. Because I know what Brooke is doing. Brooke is showing off to their not boyfriend.
I'm putting the poison barb away since it's useless to me. Also, since I fill up my inventory rather quickly here. Let's see.
I think I'm done on
I have-
things for the moment. Waiting
That's
for
fair.
Brooke.
I am curious if Ryda in the scrying noticed. I'm gonna assume the new outfit is something that Ryda's already aware of before Tucker gets back.
Yes. Ryder has seen the outfit.
He.
Because unlike Deadeye, who shoots down their scrying, no one interrupts them when they're scrying on Tucker's group. So they can look for a little longer.
Tucker might be able to notice the scry. So it is a connection, after all, and those are something that...
So scrying is more of an external force you feel watching you. That's the way Carr described it. So it's not really Ryda connecting with Tucker. It's more of just sensing where Tucker is and watching them from externally. So at most you'd be able to feel externally someone watching you in a specific direction.
Yes, you would be able to Insight Survival alert that. But it's usually very difficult to see scrying sensors.
Especially because Ryda's been practicing on trying to make it less visible.
Tucker wouldn't really be focusing on it. Also, just a note, I randomly moved some items out of the bag into HQ storage. Because I am actually stuffing my bag quite a bit, so time to make a little.
Very nice.
So actually, does the outfit count as an inventory? It doesn't though, right? Because I'm wearing it.
You are wearing it.
So I got it's this lovely situation where it neither fills the inventory nor fills the garment slots. So let's put it here.
Key item.
Scrying on Tucker's party. Notice Doreen's cheating in a card game against Noibat.
Luckily, Noibat did not bet anything of consequence.
It'll be possible to throw a surprise party for Ryda.
This is true.
I mean,
Just
it's not
make
impossible. Just don't give him any reason to scry on.
I had a worse statement. I was like, oh, you can still surprise Ryan. Just make sure to deprive them of water for a while. No, that's not good either.
Oh, goodness. Right, I keep forgetting that there's the Dragon Eater parts that,
Honestly, maybe, on a random day that's good for both of us, we could come into the table and then just, like, clean it up a little bit.
Probably.
Because I can't do it myself, because I'm not entirely sure about some stuff, but with you around, I think we could probably clean up a few things.
Oh, well, I can immediately get rid of the adhesive in the hand rope. Because those are places now. They're part of the forge.
Yeah.
I'll delete the Dragon Eater parts because I know there were some that were used for Ryda's thing, and these might be it. But I know there was an entire extra body Ralph had that got put to some use.
These are for the.
Yeah, I think
we
tossed it.
I think you might have tossed it.
Yeah. We have $5,000 in storage apparently.
We do? Oh yeah, that's right. There's money in there.
I do recall that I used one to make the scythe. I think I used one to make the tonics, and then Ralph threw out his one, but I grabbed it with Ryda and brought it back to the base.
Oh, yes, it's here. It's in storage.
For more parts, if I needed them.
Black Victorian maid outfit. Is this Tucker fitting or?
Yeah, but
that
technically I can do something very similar now with the color shifting. Not quite a Victorian style, but it can be. That one doesn't fit me though, I don't believe, because it was fitted from a Twitch and stuff, and it was never worked on by the seamstress, so it doesn't fit me currently.
Puppy hand-me-down.
Red candy, blue handy.
We could dress up. Maybe we could dress up Puppy. I'd worry they just bite it or something. Bite at the frills.
Oh, right. Yeah, the candies that Ryda took.
Oh yes, the candies.
Variety of fabric, magic. Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff.
I may as well ask. Aren't these items at the forge too? The android blade arm and the android helm.
Yes, technically. Those are now in Blaze's.
Because they're gonna like come back. So.
Yeah, those are left in Blaze's care, which he would not have been able to figure out what to do with them in a week. Yeah,
he probably has to. I'll just leave it at the top of my inventory so I remember they exist, I guess. Though actually, technically, here, you know what? How about Ryda? Just like leave this next to your inventory, I suggest, since that's technically your item, right?
Okay.
That way we can remember to address our individual items.
Well, if nobody has anything special or spectacular...
When Tucker returns to town, Tucker will basically be like, "Oh my gosh, guys, look at this outfit." So that's basically it.
Ryder will unfortunately shut Tucker's excitement down by saying, "Yeah, I already saw it."
Georgie will briefly break character while Ryder is around to see the outfit, because I would assume that Tucker would try to show it off to everyone, including Ralph and Malwile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so far Jordy is still playing dead, I think, for Ryder and Tucker, but...
Yeah, just the brief, "Oh man, how come he gets to have hands?" And then remember that they're supposed to be inactive, and then go back to being inactive.
Maybe we could get your hand. Imagination voice that everyone heard.
I actually wonder if Ralph intends to hide this.
Did this
from Tucker.
actually happen in front of Ryder?
Yeah. I'm actually curious.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, that's gonna make a scene.
Yeah, it would. Because Ryder would immediately whip around and look at the thing.
It is laying
And
there
then-
motionless.
And
Tucker
then look at
would
Ralph
too,
and
because
Malwile.
Tucker's good hearing. Tucker would know where that came from.
Ryder doesn't know it's Georgie, but it's the same voice. Hey, Ralph. Give me a cool contest perform.
Let's see.
As Malwile attempts to do the same.
Because
That
they'd
much.
immediately get triggered by that. Like, wait a minute, I know that voice.
3 and 3.
At least it's not the Curse of 2. Hey, Ryder, give me an insight contest perform.
This is a really good role for me.
As Mawile is also like, "Oh yeah, we were talking about giving this poor little ball toy some hands, for whenever we activate it, so it can help around to the house and, observe stuff."
Ryder's not falling for that BS.
There is something up. They're clearly covering up something, but you cannot tell what.
Ryder sort of just expresses, "It is obvious that thing is already active. Is there a reason why you are trying to hide it from me?"
What? No, we've got it partially working.
Put my fingers together. We just not sure about the news getting out, 2 different Pokemon species adopting, just... We're sure most people are great, but we gotta keep it hush-hush, because we're not sure of the cultural climate here.
Ryder just sort of looks over to Tucker. "Were you aware of this?"
No more than you are.
Puppy also sniffing at the ball toy. Will chomp on it. Ralph, go ahead and roll me. Shoot, what the heck is ball toy's vitality? I don't want to look through it. Roll me 4 dice.
Oh, this is all going terribly. For you guys, for me, this is great.
It's hilarious. I mean, we got you on societal convention. In the back of his head, Ralph knows full well you ain't about to start a knockdown drag out inside of Mawile's house.
You underestimate Ryder.
Tucker will pull Tuppy away from nibbling too long on it, though, because it is a previously functioning being, if nothing else, so don't want to damage it too much. But also, if that ow was at all audible, Tucker heard that.
Yeah.
Tucker, you are close enough to hear it. It is very quiet, and the eyes just ever so slightly, like the little lines, ever so slightly light up every time it says ow.
Ryda takes a step closer, looking at it more intently. Might I ask how you got it to work?
Lots of love and care.
Technically, we jump-started it with Ralph Zapper.
That immediately alarms Ryda.
Tucker takes a second to think about it.
Is that
While immediately realizes the error of what she has said.
How active is it exactly?
Well, we can't really get it to function for more than maybe a couple hours a day. And, well, we're still working on the capabilities. Isn't that right, Ralph? Trying to, make sure it doesn't hyper beam holes in houses.
Oh yeah, we can't have yet. We don't want a repeat of what happened at the post office about a year back.
Oh yeah, I almost
Where some, random rogue Pokemon hyper beamed the hole.
Ryda pauses for a moment, just thinking quietly.
Aw, Tucker, that's so cute! While immediately swapping topic.
Ryda is going to look in their bag for a sec, rummaging around, before pulling out one of the Beedrill stingers. They just sort of look at it, looking at the point, checking if it's sharp, and then they're going to walk over to the ball toy with it in their hand. Very obvious.
Hey, you shouldn't poke holes in other people's stuff. That's rude, Supposed to be a pioneer, setting an example.
While puts a hand on Ralph's, looks up to him, just nods that everything is okay.
And Ryda's gonna go face to face with the ball toy and hold the stinger up to it. Is it you again? I know you can hear me.
If Baltoy could sweat, there would be bullets.
For your sake, I suggest you respond.
Tucker does look a little leery about this new development and will lightly pick up the ball toy with a ribbon. Not lifted away from Ryda yet, but kind of looking cautiously at Ryda.
Ryda is going to hold out a hand for Tucker to wait a minute.
Tucker will hesitate, but has a leery expression. But will stop.
And then they're going... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the Baltoy does not respond. It seems inert.
Ryda's going to inch the thing basically just as close as they can without touching. This is your final warning.
There's no response.
Okay, then they're going to rear the spike back and go to slam it down on the bowl toy, but stop like an inch before actually colliding with it, just to see if it jumps or anything.
It is scary. It's in the chat. Sometimes.
Okay. Hey, can you give me, I guess a dex fight barrel roll?
Okay.
I need to pull something up. Oh, it's not that poison is not very effective, Crimson. Ground-type Pokemon can't be poisoned, from what I recall.
The pointy things are ouchy.
Yeah, this isn't with the intent to poison. You know, it's a very big pointy stabber from a Beedrill.
I might be wrong. It might be only steel that's immune to being poisoned.
Yeah, it's just
Steel
Frank.
can, poison can. I mean, no. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you?
Oh, the ramifications of making a little bit of noise.
They should have just been honest.
Yeah, I was wondering when the shoe would drop, honestly, on this.
You go to stab poor Georgie, and they whir up almost instantly and spin out of the way and behind Mawile. Please don't let the crazy lady kill me!
It startles Tucker a little bit. It finally gets moving.
So it is you. Ralph, explain to me why you put him in a ball toy.
Well, you know, Mawile and I, we're not in the same egg group. So if we ever want to start
Ralph,
a family, we have to be
serious
creative.
answer, please.
Mostly to see if it was possible. I mean, imagine being cooped up inside of like this square box with no actual body, right? And not actually able to like move around and do stuff. It would go nuts up too, for sure.
I mean, it looked like you could go around the facility, but being in the same place for forever is also not much better.
Do you not recall what he did to Brooke?
I mean, I've done bad stuff before too.
And you trust it to walk around Savan Town in an actual body?
Well, I don't exactly walk anymore.
Ryder just squints at it.
Hides behind Ralph.
Tucker pipes up after thinking for a minute and kind of processing everything, and says, I think both of you guys have a point about this.
I mean, we brought back, we brought back one of the slanted bandits, and that turned out alright.
But the slanted bandits didn't, beat any of us up. He does turn a leery look to the, ball toy Georgie.
Exclusively because we were much stronger than them. If we were weaker, they would have.
Yeah, I hate to agree on this point, but Ralph is right. The Slanted Bandits are, well, they were mostly thieves, but
Weren't there some that still beat you up in that cave?
Tucker's ears full a little bit. I mean, you're not wrong. Is he at least sorry, though?
I am most very sorry and would like to not be killed.
Tucker gives Ryda a look as he says, well, regardless of how we feel, we don't want to kill you. He gives Ryda a hard look at that statement.
You do not speak for me.
Well, I don't want you killed anyways. But honestly, you guys should have let Brooke know about this at least. Both because he's leader and because, well, what happened to him.
No offense, Tucker, but Brooke has a habit of eating ghosts.
Tucker takes a moment to pause. Fair point, I guess.
Besides, he's not here for us to let know.
Yeah, I think we only really managed to revive Georgie reliably after Brooke sorta vanished.
Tucker looks at everybody for a second and goes, okay, Georgie's behavior wasn't exactly perfect in there, but at the same time he was cooped up, not doing so well. I think Ryda has a reason to feel like they do, but you guys do too, about giving him another chance. And you're right, it is kind of like the Slandits. Some of them aren't so redeemable, but some of them are, so...
Besides, I knew him before he did that. So, like, from my perspective, it's like he was super chill to me for a really long time, and then, like, had one bad day and is super chill again.
Still, there wasn't any reason to hide it. But I see your point.
I'm imagining that Ralph and Mawile are both making the face from Soul Eater, if you know what I'm talking about, Tubby. The face whenever anyone sees Excalibur.
Yep.
During this whole conversation, Tucker will just constantly read Raya's expression. And yes, Tucker noticed the part where Raya said, "You do not speak for me." To which Tucker did give a measured nod, I'll say.
Ryda's expression is unchanged, neutral, but they have not took their eyes off of Georgie.
So you're staring at Ralph right now, got it.
Yes, staring at Ralph.
Tucker will address Ryda, who's the most tense one in the room right now. Alright, Ryda. What are you feeling?
I feel it is unwise to keep that thing around. However, I understand that I am in no position to eliminate it at this time. So at the moment, I will withdraw from any further actions against it. However, I expect it to be contained in a safer environment away from everyone else.
At this time? At this moment?
As in, I do not wish to see it amongst Savantown civilians, for it is dangerous. If I do see so, I will not hesitate. That said, I will wait on Brooke's decision on what to do with it.
That part I can agree with at least.
Counterpoint, Georgie's not part of the team cheer, so Brooke can only provide a suggestion.
That's right. Technically, Georgie is just another civilian Pokemon now. Albeit they're in the body of an ancient automata weapon, but, it's not fully functional.
He also attempted to terminate several members of Team Cheer, so it's within reason to have him at least somewhat punished for his crimes.
Maybe something like community service, then? Tucker sort of half jokes.
I mean,
Christ, never remind me to never have a... Oh, that's going into story. Geez, never remind me never to have a bad day around you. Shit.
well, if I were going to be doing community service, I'd need to be able to leave the house reliably. Yeah, he still hasn't fully gotten a hang of moving around yet. I get to spin!
Get your top.
You guys are right, though. Brooke doesn't have the final say over somebody that's not part of Team Cheer. But I think Brooke's guidance is at least worth hearing first, before we make a decision. In the meantime, I guess just keep him inside. I think that works out for everybody here.
At this point, Ryder would put the spike away. If there is nothing else, I will take my leave.
Thanks.
Guess Ryder just leaves.
Yeah, I guess so.
After Rida leaves, Georgie leans out from behind Ralph. Sorry for overshadowing your new outfit, Tucker.
It's fine.
I miss having hands.
Listen, I'm not happy you attacked Brooke like you did either, but I like to see people redeem themselves, so I hope you can. And Tucker will also go after them.
Ralph kind of shrugs. Yeah, I think they're overreacting. We get attacked all the time, it's no biggie. Alright, Das.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, actually, I'm
he's
gonna
at
stay
a
here.
great big sigh. Honestly, Ralph, I thought she was going to kill all of us there for a minute.
Yeah, not in her state.
I don't know. She's pretty frightening.
Never expected Ryder to be the intimidating type with their petite frame.
It's worth noting that Tucker doesn't really have any direct problems with Georgie, but, I mean, does need to at least say sorry to Brooke. But, yeah, Ryder makes things a little more tricky with this. I think Tucker gets the whole cooped up bad day. Like, I think it was already very clear to Tucker that Georgie was basically alone for a really long time, and that doesn't really do anybody any favors.
Yeah, Ryder's not thinking that deep on it. It was basically, hey, this thing it nearly killed Brooke and attacked all of us. And Ralph decided, hey, I'm gonna put it in a robot body and then hide it. So yeah, they aren't very happy about seeing this thing.
Not to mention that it also shows that Ralph... I guess, honestly, a lot of this anger could be directed at Ralph that Ryder has, too, because Ralph didn't say that, Georgie was retrieved and stuff from the computers or anything. So it was a big old sleight of hand for a while.
Indeed.
I wonder how mad Ryder is at Georgie and how mad Ryder is at Ralph, though. That might be
Actually,
stuff.
Ralph did mention that Georgie was sucked into the zapper.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Ryder
right.
was aware that it was imprisoned in that thing, and they were okay with that at the very least, because, okay, at least it's imprisoned. It's not going to do anything in a zapper, and Ralph can use it for what he needs to use it for.
Yup.
But the fact that he put it in a body, Ryder does not like that fact at all.
Mawile realized her mistake the minute she said it, but she couldn't take it back.
Yeah.
Literally, her big mouth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like Ralph is reckless enough that he might have just... if not for her encouraging that it stay a secret, like, he might have just been like, oh yeah, I revived Georgie. Get bent.
Honestly, I think Ryder would have been less annoyed then, because at least Ralph didn't hide the fact. Because that also alludes to, like, hey, maybe Georgie's up to something he shouldn't be if they're hiding it, But if Ralph is like, oh yeah, I put the thing in the robot, it's like,
Yeah, he
I
would
think
have
that's a
been
bad
much
idea,
less
but-
he's not a very careful person on his own. Obviously.
I do want to ask...
So like without Mawile's influence, he probably just would have been like, I revived Georgie, get bent.
I do want to ask, though, with one party saying you nearly killed Brooke and the other party saying, oh, we get attacked all that. How damage did Brooke actually get? I forgot.
they got down. They got downed,
Full down.
like fully downed,
Yeah, it went down
which
zero. So it wasn't-
sent Ryder over the edge.
that is pretty serious damage, but...
Hmm.
Momo does make a good point, though. This land, it's easier to be easygoing than, but they could have been just as out for blood, and they kind of were at some point. So that's actually a good point.
The main reason Mawile wanted to hide it is because of Ryder.
Hmm.
So, like, Ralph would have just done it and been like, yeah, I did this, what are you going to do about it? And Mawile, of course, being the more concerned party here, is like, we probably should not let her know that we've revived Georgie, because then she might just re-kill Georgie.
I think Momo was directly watching Ryder's reaction when Brooke went down and stuff, so that's part of the reason she was worried about that, too.
Yes.
That was a scene.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that should probably happen before Brooke returns?
I think that's it. You just stepped on a mine with that little Georgie comment.
Hmm. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
The moment I heard that comment right in the room, I knew that was going to be a scene.
Mhm. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
wait, Ryder's there. Yep. Bring in the Brook.
Alright. Well, Brooke, how are you making your entrance back into town?
I like to imagine he just strolls in, acts like nothing happened. Just, oh, hey, guys. Called it.
Alright, well, at the end of the travel times, Brooke and Deadeye stroll through the main gate. Let's see here. Do we have a nice event song to end on?
gladly.
Events one number 5, since we haven't done that one.
Okay.
What happened here?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it kind of broke. Oh, because somebody typed. Oh, somebody typed something weird in the title. That might have something to do with it.
Searching with their camera inputs. Yeah, that'll happen. It's fine.
But actually,
This
the
is some
SoundCloud is
funky
frozen.
music.
SoundCloud is actually just completely frozen. Let me just. Copy that. Oh wow, the tablet's just broken for me.
Oh dear.
Like
The
it's
one
just
we need to
completely
be working
frozen.
for.
Yeah, it's like it's not reacting to. Oh, I forgot. I got to switch to Google. There. Okay, good. Maybe I
If
can go
need be,
back.
you could save and load the table.
I think I'll do that.
Yeah, because we're almost ended.
I am, however, still on Google. Oops.
Kyrio got banned.
Oh no.
Alright, hold on. I gotta go get the original SoundCloud private link again. Sorry about this. I don't know. It just froze up completely. If anybody has the link still for some reason, you can throw it at me. But I can get it myself by going to this there. I just have to sign into SoundCloud on the side. Oh. Okay, sure. Make my life harder. I try to sign into SoundCloud, and it says, your email's found in the link of user data. We've temporarily preventing access. You need to...
Yeah, it did that with me too. Okay.
Okay, it's doing that for everybody, I see. It's okay, I can go reset. It just takes me an extra second to do that. Sorry about this.
Yeah. I mean, we can just end with Brooke's entrance, I think.
I agree
And
with
that way
putting on
that
a
can
little
be...
song, though. Let me just... I'm almost there. Okay. It's forcing me to change my password. Yep. What leak are they talking about? So everybody was getting that? That's interesting. I guess SoundCloud had a leak, so FYI to everybody. Might want to change your stuff. Okay. That's good PSA if nothing else. And also might be why the tab was a little weird. Good news is I got back into one of the accounts, and that's all I needed to do. Now I can just access the album and then a playlist, and then just find the share button. There is it. There, share. Okay, I should be able to get back into it now. Why did you... Oh, you opened About Blink. Okay. There, I got back into it.
There's no music here.
Yeah, there's no use to,
Mayhaps we fix this off stream after session.
Okay. That's fair. Oh wait. There. Oh, let's see if that works. Last try. I grabbed a different link. Now that I had access to half the link. Okay, last try. Okay, there. I got into the battle, so that works. Problem solved. Phew. Okay, so Vince 1-5?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about all that.
Mild
Thanks,
panic.
Panic.
Okay.
I think what happened is you were in like a popular tracks tab for some reason.
Yeah, I got the wrong link, even though it looked like the right one. Okay, there. Alright, see, continue. I got the music up.
Okay.
You can't play music on an account? Here, let me
probably,
try
yeah.
this. Try this link here. Try just like. Oh wait, you can't really copy that. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, it is possible that SoundCloud has changed it so that you can't without an account anymore.
Yeah, I'm listening to music.
I put it in a Pokerole DM group. Try you pasting that link in for yourself if you're having trouble. I can't say I have the tablet working without being signed in, so I just need to refresh everything, and then it works.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. So if you try that link and you paste in the tablet's bar, I think that should fix it for you guys too. But just yeah. Listen, it's okay. We haven't had technical difficulties in a while, so we had to have some other technical difficulty happen. Steve's been nice to us lately.
Is ready to proceed.
Yes.
Yes.
But yes. Brooke and Deadeye stroll into town, and that's going to turn a number of heads, because that's a feraligator. And they are big. Big is very noticeable. And this is very quickly going to start the gossip and rumor mills going, as if they've got Pikachu on the wheels.
Oh, who's that literal tall glass of water? What if he'd let me climb him?
Why do I imagine that Enio's Lycanroc would probably say something like, "Calm down, Doreen. Not everyone is interested in you."
Question would be, which is the hardest spot Brooke first?
A grand old question indeed.
Not sure where they'd be when they walk into town. I'm gonna guess this happens like a day or two after the other stuff, so...
Yeah.
So Ryder would be back to their training. Back at base as usual.
That could be at base too.
I mean,
Probably
y'all can
relax
roll.
a little, because Big Trip knows.
Y'all can roll to see who notices Brooke first.
Okay.
Or
Alright, let's see here.
Checks out.
Oh, cool.
Brooke will casually greet anyone he recognizes, probably with a wink. He knows he looks different, but doesn't want to make too big a deal about it, even though he secretly enjoys the attention.
Oh, gosh, now you're super big like me. Alright, big crew, let's go.
Ralph. There we go.
Howdy, Deadeye.
Good to see you're still alive.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. You know, local Snorlax are literally too awesome to die. Too funny, too. Also, being a huge tanky Snorlax helps with, not dying. Slap the belly. And I could probably say the same for being a big, imposing, strong, for alligator, as I forgot the Pokemon for a bit. Yeah, that would be extra good at protecting our team.
Hey, Ralph. Brooke grins. It's a little weird to look at you without craning my neck.
Oh, I know, right? Like, being taller is, like, so wild.
Deadeye folds their arms. Well, they are strong. They managed to fight me to a standstill.
Ralph nods. That's good, that's good. We need all the strength we can get. And he'll kind of wink and say, after all, we already had plenty of great leadership. But, a little extra muscle never hurts, too.
Brooklyn.
Car might step away.
Oh, maybe so.
Grab some meat after this session.
What's that?
I said I'm gonna grab some meat after this session. I'm hungry.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some cheap spicy ramen.
Apologies, I had to briefly move away. What did I miss? I see
A
there's
line.
Brooklyn.
There's a line. That's all.
I probably got lucky. Maybe pushed a bit too far to be safe. Or rubs his head. But yeah, I think I'm where I need to be now. Physically, I mean.
That's good, that's good. And, don't feel too sheepish about going beyond what's safe. I do it all the time. No risk, no reward, as they say, right? Or is it steady wins the race and not taking wild risks? The latter's more fun. Anyway, I imagine you. Oh, you're not one to show off as directly as I am, are you? I was gonna say, perhaps you should, pop your head in and say, "Yo, bingo, I evolved." But something tells me you would also be keen on just like letting the news get to him.
Speaking of, where are the rest of you? I would have expected you not to be all together.
I mean, we have lives outside of the team. We're doing lots of stuff.
Where's this conversation taking place, actually? I assume at base.
Well, it's taking place outside.
Outside?
Yeah, I imagine just
Yeah.
outside, near about to the gates. Yeah.
Yeah, a little ways into town. And yes, in the middle of the main road. I'm sure Pangoro will hear about it before I even get there. But I'll probably pop in, assuming I can still fit in the door.
I mean, if I can fit, you can fit.
Deadeye opens his mouth and then shuts it. Raft preempted him.
I have some pretty exciting news too, but I'll wait for the whole gang to be together again. Because I believe Ralph has not told anyone else that he's proposed to Marwile.
No.
As of, I don't really have a good in-character reason, except actually, yeah, a good in-character reason is that he would want the team to be together. But as a player, I've not told the rest of the team because I want, like, Brooke to have his big, like, I'm a alligator moment. And, like, let that linger for a bit.
I have your big eye for alligator.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember, Tucker's bedroom actually has a little loft area, and a nice window looks over the town. So this might be something of a scene that Tucker could be witnessing, at least from a distance. I don't remember which direction that
Tucker
window
saw
faces.
them. He'd run to go say hi.
No, he would. Yeah, that's why I'm contemplating it.
If you're in the downstairs room, then yeah, it would have one of the windows that would show it. And if you're in your room upstairs, you would also be on the correct side to see the main road.
In that case, Tucker, with, of course, Puppy Take along as always, would probably show up next to Ralph's side at some point. Do I wait for Brooke Take first?
Meanwhile, ride a train, you very oblivious. It's like, I know Brooke should be arriving at some point today. So they're expecting it, they just don't know when.
Makes sense. Nervous?
Yeah.
Oh. This is the big typepiece.
What's to say?
Alright. Well, we should go to HQ first then, Brooke says, and glances at Deadeye a moment before shuffling sheepishly. I mean, if you don't mind. I appreciate your company. Deadeye shrugs, waving somewhat dismissively. As I've told you before, I don't exactly have anything to do. I came here to visit you.
Well, just as they're saying that, Tucker actually does walk up from outside, having left the HQ a little bit ago, thanks to the conversation he saw taking place outside. And he takes a moment to marvel at Brooke. And Puppy probably does too, or does zoomies or something. It's notable that Tucker is indeed wearing his outfit, which feels very comfortable, and it's very clear that though Brooke has a bit to flaunt, I guess Tucker does too at this point. And he does a almost coy sort of wave of one of the dark ribbons, and says to Brooke, "Oh, wow, you know, I evolved recently, but if you guys keep growing up, I'll still feel like a Puchena at this rate." How was the trip? Sorry to give you a lecture right there, Kyrio.
No, I'm still not sure I've wrapped my head around that, Brooke says to Deadeye, with a chuckle. You always seem too cool for me. He waves as Tucker walks up. Hey, Tuck. Oh, not too bad. Bit longer than expected, though. Sorry for that.
It's alright. I made some good use of the time and, well, revisited the seamstress. Since we kinda left that area before I could do it before. She got me a pretty good new outfit. A remixed old outfit. And Tucker does some little poses. Not wanting to be the only one showing off today.
Puppy is going to run over and sniff at Deadeye. Deadeye will attempt to not glare at them too hard.
Very kind.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say sniffs him back.
No.
I'd expect Deadeye to like nudge him away with his tail or like push him away slowly with a foot.
I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen when they get too close. Deadeye is going to just push away with their tail. Alright. You look great. And look at that. You have hands again. Sort of. He smiles and pats Tucker on the head. Sounds like an eventful week. Did Ralph and Ryder go with you?
Nah. They were busy with their own things, so I just hired a little team for it. Wasn't that big of a deal. Just a nice little trip out. And yeah, I hope I can maybe be a little more capable of these. They feel really natural. The seamstress really knows what she's doing. And Tucker demonstrates by picking up Puppy before Deadeye gets too annoyed by Puppy and using the ribbons to show that Puppy is very pick-upable of them, and so is other things.
Puppy is new held item.
Puppy held item. Okay, speaking of the others being busy with their own things, did Ralph ever show off the crossbow to anybody? Or, well, it's not really a crossbow now, is it?
Wow, all on your own? You're getting pretty independent lately. Well then I guess we just gotta find Ryder. Are they home?
Tucker nods. Yeah, they should be at the base. Last time I checked, they were just training. And yeah, I'm trying to stake out on my own a little bit more. We all need to get stronger, right? I mean, I'm guessing that's part of the reason your trip. You look great too, by the way. Tucker says sort of sheepishly at the end. That's because it's true.
Brooke nods, a little solemnly. Yeah. I think we've got a pretty big challenge ahead of us. We'll make it through, he says, and he puffs up his chest a bit. Don't I? I'm pretty happy with my new look, I'd say.
I'm just happy
Did
to
I?
see you looking a little more confident again. It's nice to see you, Brooke. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Deadeye levels a half-lidded eye over to Brooke as they show off a bit. Maybe you'd be at home in the arena right now after all.
I think I missed that last line.
Oh, they were muttering under their breath how Brooke would probably be at home in the arena after all.
Yeah, Tucker's just glad to see Brooke with renewed spirits again. I just realized that, wonder how obvious Brooke is with his new typing. As in, can somebody pick it out?
I mean, I wouldn't exactly immediately think he's a ghost type.
Yeah.
I'd probably just think he's like an off-color, probably just like an off-color or something.
Yeah. I was contemplating that. I'm like, yeah, I don't think Tucker would have any way of detecting that in advance. Ah, hiccups.
Just an off-color with cool markings.
Yeah. Did the markings come natural, or are they going to be a paint? I can't remember. Oh,
Which markings?
There's markings that will glow. I wonder if they're added manually or not.
Good question. Brooke gives Deadeye a smirk before heading to the training area, then say offhandedly, Grad is gonna freak out when they see me. Or will they give me the same stoic stare as always and just freak out internally?
Right, getting called out.
Deadeye brings a hand to his chin, looking briefly thoughtful. Probably the latter. I think the marks are always visible but very faint unless you know how to look for them. That's fair.
Did I imagine the first night that they were traveling back with Deadeye and it turned to night and they were like, at the same time they were like, oh look, I glow in the dark! But yeah, Tucker wouldn't get in the way any longer. Standing in the middle of the road talking is kind of awkward after a while, so Brooke is free to go to the training area.
Alright, so you all are heading to the training area. Blair will be there, off to the side. They're just watching. So is Squirt. Squirt has the med kit.
Very responsible.
Fair. Considering at this point, Ryder would be training with their scythe, swinging it around, trying to get a better grasp of just using it in combat. But upon seeing everyone sort of walk into the room, they sort of pause, putting their scythe at ease, standing up beside them, and they look amongst you all and then look towards Brooke, a bit confused, not really registering, and just sort of ask, "Is there something wrong?"
Yeah, we all kind of just like gathered around Ryder, like, "Hey, Ryder." It's like an intervention for something.
Yeah, for real. It's like, oh, am I in trouble? Who's this?
So we adopted a random homeless for alligator to. Never mind.
Ryder just sort of. Sorry, go ahead.
Not unless you think there is, Ryder, Brooke says with a smirk.
Ryder tilts their head for a second, thinking, before it finally clicks that, oh, it's Brooke. And their eyes, like, widen for a second before, like, narrowing back in. And then their expression kind of goes a bit sour. Oh. I see. It is you, Brooke. You are not as I expected. My apologies.
Oh, as an aside, when Brooke gave Tucker a pat, Tucker's legs buckled for a second, cause big paw, big cat. It was appreciated though. It's a good pat.
Finally, someone who gives some good pats around here.
Some good pats.
Huh. You seem disappointed, Brooke says, shrugging his head. Is it really so bad?
Apologies for my reaction. Your evolution suits you well, I suppose. It just looks different than I had expected. You don't look... You look bigger. Much more to yourself, I suppose. They seem a bit lost on how to answer that question properly. But they seem hesitant around Brooke. I love the guess from chat. It's not that, but that is funny.
I mean, for alligators are by default a little chunky, but not as much as crocodiles.
Also, that's mean, chat. Brooke does not look fat.
Yeah, fat is not a word I would use to describe Brooke at all.
No. He's actually a lot trimmer than a North alligator.
I think I probably get it, Brooke says with a bit of a smile. Hopefully you and I can reconcile that eventually. For now, though, try and get used to it, because I can't exactly take it back. Take it from someone who attempted at least once. It does not work that way.
Ryder gives a nod, somewhat ashamed of their own reaction of Brooke. Yes, of course, I will reconcile the problem.
Brooke clears his throat. I said, you and I. So, come talk to me later, okay?
Very well, Brooke. Love that I can get a bit of a different view on the evolution thing, because usually everybody's like, oh yeah, you evolved, but some people are like, yeah, you evolved. It's nuance.
I forget, did Ryder meet us when Brooke was Crocodile? Or when Tota?
Ryder started scrying on Brooke when they were a crocodile.
Okay. That explained. Okay, I was wondering, like, what was your reaction to the first evolution, but they didn't have.
They never saw the first evo.
Yeah. So Brooke has always been one static physical thing to them. Until now. So. Yeah, I started to see why the reaction is here.
Like, yeah, I expected Brooke to evolve, and then they see Brooke and it's like, oh, you evolved and you look different.
To put Brooke's size in perspective, and also Ralph's for that matter too, I want to remind everybody that I'm actually a much larger Hyena than a standard Hyena. Despite that, I look kind of small. Or at least not as big as you'd think I would be. But I actually am very big.
Compared to everyone, I'm tiny.
You are tiny. You would fit in Brooke's mouth. So he can take care of you like crocodiles do with their attachments. Yay.
I'll probably go into more detail about how how Ryder feels about Brooke's Evo when they have their one-on-one talk.
That's fair.
Alright, I think we've just got the clubhouse to show off to. I'll get out of here. Brooke says, turning to leave the area with Deadeye. You ready to go back, huh? I bet you were adorable as a kid. Don't even start, you. I tried to go back because my ability was troublesome. Not because it was that reason. They make a face following Brooke around.
The two walk off, Ryder just stands there staring as they walk away, just sort of pause, thinking.
Oh, actually, speaking of showing off, You absolutely, Tucker, showed the new outfit to Rise at some point.
Oh, I would assume that they were the first Pokemon that you showed it off to.
That would probably be true.
Rise would have praised you.
I feel like this is the wrong time for it, but I'm reminded that when Rise saw that Tucker evolved, they had a mixed reaction, though they tried to play it off. So maybe at some point those two should also be talking. I don't know.
Oh, Rise would have talked to Tucker about it during the brushing session. It's more to do with the fact that Tucker evolved, and like they have mixed feelings about it because of Corpse Venom.
Yeah, that's a sore topic for the both of them.
Yeah, so the mixed feelings will go away eventually, mostly. But it's just one of those things, like, at that very moment, very prevalent.
Mm-hmm. Between that, the fact that Tucker's evolution was weird, not that of the Cave of Mirrors, and then once Tucker realized that Brooke had gone to the Cave of Mirrors, it is in Tucker's head at this point, because it was also asked by a chat viewer, on the Discord, on the Poker Discord. Tucker does have interest in returning to the Cave of Mirrors at some point, just to stop in and talk to, its caretaker and all about that. So.
That depends on if you all head that way on your next outing.
It's not a pressing need, but it's just a little thing.
Also, I totally forgot about Squirt's reaction to Brooke. I'm sorry. It's late. Yeah. So, Squirt is absolutely awed by Brooke. And Brooke, of course, is quite busy chatting and showing off to everyone else and talking to Ryda. Also, with Brooke's new height, not noticing Squirt and their reaction seems very in character at the moment. What also seems very in character at the moment is that Brooke is currently unaware that Squirt is riding their tail. Deadeye has noticed. Deadeye has chosen to say nothing.
They just
But-
gotta walk off the clubhouse with Squirrel doing that.
Yeah, but for Squirt, this is Big Brother has become Big Brother.
Biggest brother.
It's adorable. He used to hide on Brooke's back when he evolved the first time too. Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a reference. Callback.
Yes. Squirt adores Brooke. Yes, we could continue with the conversations, but unfortunately we should end here. I should eat dinner before it's cold, and people need to sleep. So everybody please get to experience. I hope you all enjoyed.
Given how you've been the last 2 weeks, I completely believe you when you say you could go all night.
Excited. Just got a taste of coming back, and now you already got some conversations lined up.
Alright, let's see. Did everybody get their experience?
Mm-hmm.
I also hope that vibrations intensify. I know. I only hope I've been doing some minor justice to Brooke's new voice, because I know my voices cannot melt people the way that Brooke's new voice is capable of melting people.
I understand Kyrio start was bad this time. Maybe we'll hear for Alligator Brook from the source next week or next 2 weeks.
Oh, Kyrio's mouth is completely dry.
That sounds like you might be a little sick. I hope you feel better.
I do. Indeed, I hope you feel better. I have the benefit of having drink next to me that I have been sipping at infrequently.
I'm relatively fine, just very eat because my nap from earlier didn't nap as hard as I wanted to. Hey Tubby,
Yo,
did you add your XP?
I have not.
Aha!
You got 2 XP for the session.
Excellent.
I'm a little sleepy because my sleep schedule has been completely fucked.
Oh, same. I mean, we've been listen. There's been construction for 4 weeks. Actually, no, 5 weeks, and then there's been yard work after that. And it's sometimes we go to bed, and then it turns out we can't. So that's too bad.
Mine was self-inflicted because my new hyperfixation blueprints, I've been playing it till like 12 o'clock and then going to sleep at like 1.
Stop it.
It's fun, and I
Yes.
want to keep going on more runs a lot of the time.
Esther got obsessed with that game too.
Do it in moderation or you'll run out of all the mystery.
I'm getting close to finishing all the mysteries already.
It's like me when I finish a game. I stayed up way too late when I finished Unicorn Overlord because I started the ending and it took so much longer than I thought it would.
That game was inspired by a book that's also a puzzle game book. If you guys aren't aware, you should look it up. If you like blueprints, you like that probably. It's called Maze: Solve the World's Most Challenging Puzzle by Christopher Manson. Yeah. Anyways,
Good night, Kyrio.
good night. I guess I'll do an outro though. Thank you very much for the session, everyone. But I guess we will play in another 2 weeks since I don't think I'll be moving by then unless something really dramatically changes. But I should be moving soon. Hopefully we do have a session interruption at some point because otherwise that's sad. basically. But yeah, I think session 148 should happen in 2 weeks. Hopefully 149 will be delayed, hopefully, because that means I'll be moving. We'll see. But in any case, that was session 147. I'll see you guys in another couple weeks for more Pokerole. There's still some loose threads to talk about, like Georgie and stuff, so we'll see what happens with further conversations on that in 148, and maybe then we'll continue on another adventure outside of Savan. We'll see. I didn't say sea spray that time, yay. But that was session 147. I hope you all enjoy.
Good night.